Live from Tucson, Arizona, and San Diego, California. His timing is perfect, actually. We are live on Atomic Dork Duo. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect timing. I decided I was just going to go live and figured you'd be here in a moment. So
absolutely, man. Sorry it took so long.
All right, not to worry at all. Let's see. I have some. I think I have some sound effects for the show.
Whoa! Sunday Night Football.
I just found this theme song. I think it's going to be ours.
I like it. I've never heard it before.
Yeah, but it seems catchy.
Makes me want to tackle somebody.
Terrible thing. It's a terrible thing for you to see that.
What?
I'm gonna kill him. No, I'm gonna kill him. Wait. What are you gonna do? Punch him in the face? Throw him? You're gonna maybe work the body?
Punch me in the face?
No, it's not gonna help. I'll tell you why. It doesn't unbang your mom.
Oh.
I like that one. It doesn't unbang your mom. Here.
To let your head bounce to the beat.
Beat.
All right, stop.
Hammer time.
Welcome to Atomic Dork Duo.
Yes. Spinning
on the ones and twos. You're now rocking with your favorite DJ.
Jeff and Geoff.
Jeff and Geoff.
They get hot. Let's go, man.
That's all it takes to be a DJ.
It's a morning drive time DJ right here.
100%. You just have to have all the right sound effects, all the right bumpers. You forget like what brings those shows together. It's not just the yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Jokes is the continuity of the bumper music. Like they use the same bumper at every juncture. You recognize what's going to happen next in the show, and it just programs you.
Yeah.
You know, you're like in the sports world. You're like, here it comes. It doesn't matter what Cookie says. It just matters that he's Cookie, and he's like in the sports world. Boom, boom.
Jeff Kind Sports with Whammy.
Yeah. As long as it's catchy, people are just like, oh, this feels. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good. So I don't know why I feel like knowing these things and these recipes, and actually, having been trained in that, I don't know, 25 years ago. I don't know why I refuse to participate. I'm like, why don't we make any money? It's because they're like, well, here's what social norms will tell you, and here's what people who are successful doing the things that you guys do will do. And I'm like, nah.
We're not doing that one.
Nah, that seems dumb.
Top of the hour, 65 degrees.
Right. Night and morning, low clouds and fog. Marinate by afternoon, high of 78, low of 62. That's your news, traffic, and weather. People are like, oh, I love the new Dork Squad channel. Fuck. I always said if we just throw a timer on this, I'm used to production going backwards by the hour.
Yeah.
So when I learned to be a board op in radio, it was knowing that you're my brain would have to count backwards, but the clock would still go forward. So
Right, you got a 4 hour
I'd be
spot,
like-
so you start back from 4 hours to 3 hours to 2
right,
hours.
and yeah, you know how long everything is until you have the station ID and break at the top of the hour. Then you have 6 minutes for the national news. You have a minute and a half for your local, and you got a 2-minute spot, and then at 12 after you have your intro to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 20, but at 23 after you have an outro because you have to hit a spot and you have to 3-minute spot. And then you come back at 26 after, and then you have 2.5 minutes approximately to get to the bottom of the hour. Like, it's like, so everything was just timed.
Clockwork.
Like,
It's all clockwork. Yep.
and I was able to do it while I'm participating because it didn't take me long as a board op to get involved in everybody's shows.
Mhm.
And then when I started producing shows, it's you realize you're the person on the other side of the glass,
Mhm.
and the talent is talking to you,
Right.
which is what makes it sound like they're talking to you at home,
At home. Right.
right? And I'd be like, wait, why am I bound to this person, like, for the entire, whatever, the entire show that we're doing? But I realized they relied on me to be the audience.
Yeah.
So
You
then I'm over there
were
going like,
the
yeah,
audience.
okay. Oh, and they're like, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
That's why I'm a little less, whoa, who's that?
What up, buddy?
What's going on, Matthew with 1T?
Don't let me interrupt, boys. Keep going.
No, man, you shouldn't have hit enter then. Jesus Christ. But boom. Yay. I love you, buddy.
That shit up.
Turn that
shit
shit
Back
off.
in the day with another old school banger. It's your boy,
Matthew.
always spitting that explosive fire. The game will never be the same.
Never.
Never.
Bring that beat back. You're now rocking. You're in the
All of our circuits are busy. Please try again later. Thank you.
What do you think? Theme song?
Welcome back to Jeff and Jeff. Here we are.
If I'm gonna violate copyrights, I'm gonna steal from Fox
There you go.
and the NFL.
Well, it's not like Family Guy doesn't do it. They steal from everybody else, so they're on Fox. So
Oh, I bet if you're on the same network, they give you copyright automatically,
yeah, that's
right?
true. That's true.
They're like, yeah, you're $1 billion show. You can go ahead and do whatever the amp you want. They squeeze us small folk because they don't want us to wind up like the big folk. So
Right.
that's why the wealthy people get free bags of BMWs and watches and pound of cocaine because you came to the Oscars. Here's your pound of cocaine and
Here you go, sir.
and your 3 cars. Like I watched somebody, maybe it was Ben Kingsley. They did an interview and he showed what you get at the swag tables.
Yeah, there were. I think Conan did it too.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It was crazy. So I
Yeah.
think it was Ben Kingsley, and he's like, okay, well, let's do it. And they're going to, like, this is Breitling, this is Rolls Royce, this
Yeah,
is
like Rolex watches and all that
free
shit.
$50,000 watch. Here you go. We just want you to. He's like, oh, I already have that. I don't really need it. Oh, I guess I can take it from my nephew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you get all the money, and then you get all the stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah. He goes, you never have to spend your money.
Did you,
There is that problem of your soul and then like the cabal and Satan, but whatever.
did
you gotta watch.
Did you see that I'm not exactly sure where I watched it, but it was Chris Rock invited a bunch of writers over to sit down and help him work through some stuff.
Mm.
And they didn't get paid. Oh, I know what you're doing. Really? Again?
I'm here to collect.
They didn't get paid, but
Hey, Conan,
they all got Rolexes at the end of the night,
where's your plague mask?
Right.
Plague doctor.
Right.
including
That's
Sarah
great.
Silverman, who was in
Your
there,
plague doctor.
and they were all in. They had it etched out inside. Thank you for your help and things like that. But it was I think it was Louis C.K. was the one who was talking about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you get Louis C.K. to show up to your house and help you write out your jokes
Oh, well,
at the
Louis,
cost of a $60,000 Rolex.
right, right.
He's got
Well,
a deal.
Louis is a prolific. He's a prolific writer before even.
Oh,
stands. Like
he's brilliant.
he's on all the
I love it.
all the shows. But that's interesting. I wonder what's the tax advantage or what's the advantage for paying somebody with an
Rolex.
inscribed piece of jewelry?
Because you get to write it off.
I was gonna say it's a write-off. It's business.
It's a write-off.
Yeah, but but paying them cash is also. So why would buying it? I'm just trying to think like why would buying an object?
Because you have to you have to account for the cash and where it came from.
Oh, so you're saving the other person's taxes. You're
No,
saving tax.
You're saving your own ass at that point.
Yeah, because you pay him $120,000. They want to know where that money came from.
Right. But if you buy somebody a $120,000 watch, the recipient doesn't have to pay taxes. But if you give them 120 grand in cash, they do.
Well, you do
Oh
too.
yeah.
Right,
No,
think
you're
about
right.
it.
Yeah,
You don't
You're
don't
right.
have to pay taxes on a 1099
Right.
because you're 1099. They're not your employer,
Hmm.
the employee. You can
Yeah.
actually write off the cost of doing business by giving them that. But what you're doing is you're saving the 1099 for the employee.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to give half of that back as a tax.
Right. Right.
So even though he inscribes it to make it officially a gift,
Mm-hmm.
then you can just go, they'll
And
shave that panel back and give you the cash for the watch if you want it.
on a
Mm-hmm.
much smaller scale
That's smarter.
in my world, on a
Cilantro.
very much smarter scale. I had a situation where because I have a home studio and I record and things like that.
Are you a musician?
No, not me.
Okay.
I don't own 24 guitars. What are you talking about?
You can stay on the show.
I don't like Star Wars either. So
Yeah, me neither. But I did find it interesting because there was a guy who I kind of highly respect, and he goes, "Hey, do you ever think about recording other people?" And I go, "Oh man, I don't want to do that. That's not my world. I don't want to be in that world." And then the next day,
You ever think of making a lot of money like easily? But no.
yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't want to do that.
No.
That just sounds horrible.
Horrible idea.
And then the next day, this guy hits me up and goes, "Hey man, I want to make an album. Can we record it?" And I was like, okay, $50 an hour,
yeah.
easy number I just
Easy,
came up with. Halfway through the process, because he was a businessman, he said, because I told him cash only. And he goes, "Hey, my accountant says, if I could write you a check, I could actually write this off." I said, "Well, if we're going to do that, it's not going to be $50 an hour.
Right.
I'm going to 5% on top of that just to cover the tax."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
He goes, "Yeah, okay, I get it. Doesn't work." So there's your Rolex concept. I think you were exactly right. It's just
Yep.
here's your watches.
Yep. Y'all got gifts. Y'all
Imagine
got
being
gifts.
Sarah Silverman and like getting this man's Rolex going, "And what do I do with it
Thing's as
now?"
big as her.
She's like, my left bicep is really big now. Well,
Dr. Di Matteo, my friends.
Dr. Di Matteo. That's right.
how is this a reference to him?
He had the Pepsi Rolex.
Yeah, a Rolex.
Oh, did
And,
he?
yeah, he let me wear it once
Mhm.
because I was like,
Did he work for Pepsi?
No. I mean, Rolex has a bunch of, there's a Hulk, there's a Kermit, they have all these different
Oh,
things that they name them after.
well,
The PepsiCo one, if you bring it up, and I know you're looking already.
Yep, I got it.
It's red and blue on the dial. And the dial moves both ways. And trust me, I've researched this thing a little too much.
PepsiCo better give me a Rolex.
And they don't make them anymore. I mean, they do, but they moved on to not making them. It was actually just a silver Rolex, which It's pretty cheap.
Oh, it's a cheaper one, like 30,000.
The Pepsi Rolex.
Yes, because the new one is
The
I think
GMT
they did a
Master
white gold
2.
they did a white gold a couple of years back for
They're-
60 grand.
They're about 22 grand. You know, I'll
But
bring it
you
up.
have to buy refurbished.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know if they're new. I don't know
And
if
the
they're.
only thing I do remember about it was when he let me put it on, it was like, oh, I'll get it here. Oh, it was heavy. I was like, wow, you know you're wearing this thing, don't you?
Wow.
Well, that's how you can tell if somebody gets a fake one.
There you
Usually-
go.
There it is.
That's it.
This is the GMT Master 2.
GMT, yeah, that's correct. And also for all of you who love Magnum PI as much as I do, he also had that watch. He
Oh,
had
really?
two watches in the course of the show. They started with one and then they went to this one because it's a diving watch. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
really that elegant,
No, it looks. I like it.
but for
It
a
looks,
man,
it looks like a Seiko.
yeah, it does. And Seiko has copied it. They do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done it. Oh, 15,950.
PayPal. Let's do it.
Hey Jeff,
bad.
Christmas is coming, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
You want
I
to buy
remember all those hundreds you were burning?
either one of you guys? You want to buy me a Christmas present?
There it is.
That's
Ready,
I got a
ready.
stack. Still got a stack. Rolex. 50. Okay. Why is it in what language do the Swiss speak? So we speak Swiss.
Swiss, French.
They speak French. All photos are of the actual watch in stock. Like, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Oh, they got a different bezel. You can swap out the bezel.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
No, you don't.
Well, you don't want to.
You're buying the Pepsi bezel, so you want that.
Well,
And
you
hey, by the way, go back to that last picture.
this one.
No, one before.
The
Mm,
regular. It was the regular one, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. How many hands do you see there?
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
It's got a perpetual. It's got a second hand. Oh, it's got a. What is that for depth? No, what is it? What's the fourth one?
Honestly, I don't know. I just know it has
Interesting.
4.
Yeah, that is
So
interesting.
that's the second. Oh, is it alarm? No, maybe, or timer. I don't know. The
I-
bezels for timing. Then you can have but you can set it anywhere. So a rotating bezel, you would put your mark, say here on the minute, and then it's going to obviously then wherever that is going to tell you how long it's been since you started that timer. I
Yeah.
wonder.
And
I wonder if that's like a lap timer.
I briefly mentioned this earlier, but for those of you following along at home, if you're ever going to buy one of these things, make sure the bezel goes right to left because all the fakes only go right, or no, they only go left.
Mm.
That bezel should be able to turn either way, and it makes a very distinctive click. I mean, there's a whole watch people are insane.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
Visually, it's look like it's a chronometer, self-winding movement. So it's used to measure depth. Stainless steel case, 40 millimeter in diameter, Rolex logo.
that's because I dive all the time.
I know, yeah. When you're in the shower.
You saw me with that shark, right? Did I send you that? I sent you that
No.
shark that was trying to eat my head.
Time
Like
to,
Alice?
I think so. Which you want is for the timing machine, running strong, keeping okay. I want to see what that fourth damn wheel is for.
I think you're right. I think it's timing. The timer.
And if you get into the whole Rolex experience, it's like the little clasp, they tested 1,000 times in the factory to make sure it's right. Like it takes literally a year to make one of those watches. That's at least what they say. So your money is well spent. So you guys go ahead and pitch it together. Let's do a GoFundMe for Matthew's Rolex.
Sounds good. We'll throw it along there with the GoFundMe to the Galactic Star Cruiser.
The sad thing is when I was in Dr. DiMatteo's class,
Yeah.
that same exact watch was about $1,200.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Oh,
just,
30 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, it's just elevating. I mean, you're buying an investment at a certain point.
What's the use of the Rolex 24-hour hand? I wonder if that's what that is. Let's find out. Oh, that's funny. Look what it shows as the example.
Pepsi and the Raiders.
I didn't even look that up. That's funny. All right. What's the use of the Rolex 24-hour hand? 1954. Yeah. What set the Rolex GMT apart from any other watch was the addition of the 24-hour hand and the ability to track a second time zone.
24-hour Greenwich Mean Time.
Early in the 50s, Pan American Airlines approached Rolex to design a watch that could track 24-hour Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich Mean Time, then known as GMT and now known as Universal Time, we still call it GMT here, is the international time zone standard, no matter what time zone a person is in. GMT time does not recognize time zone, and the time is universal around the globe. That's how we're able to count up and back on, what is it, longitude? East Coast is GMT -4, GMT -5 is where Texas, and then GMT -7 is Pacific and Arizona right now. So it's 7 hours off, -7 hours off from GMT. It's weird though, because some countries in Middle East, they're off by not only hours but also minutes.
Right.
So that part freaks me out. I'm like, why are you so special that you're off by 2.5 or 12.5 hours? You know, like, is it just like you're that on the edge? Are you basically, you're telling me that you're in a place where God did not intend you to be? If we have to adjust your clock by 30 minutes, you're not in the right spot. You should just go one direction or the other. Just weird. Okay, hi. There you go. 24-hour hand is found on multiple watches, but it took Pan Am's request and Rolex's inventiveness to make it happen. So that's what that bad boy is.
Only because
That's pretty cool.
Relevant to last night. The guy who lives behind me was playing last night, went out a nice night, things like that. About 2 years ago, his brother comes down every once in a while, and we're sitting there, and I look across the yard. We're out, having a beer or whatever we're doing,
Yeah, being gay.
Yeah, being totally gay.
Totally being gay.
And I looked and I go, whoa. I said, you got a Hulk. So if you pull up a Rolex Hulk.
Is it green? Like a jade green?
Yeah, there's the Kermit and there's the Hulk. And they're very similar. One has a green face and one doesn't. And then it was the only second time in my life I was able to put on a Rolex. And I was like, can I see that? I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm thrilled. I'm like, this is like at least a $10,000 watch. It's not super expensive, but it's cool. But later, my friend Steve, he said, how did you know that's what it was sitting? 22
fucking primary colors.
Those prices are outrageous. Really?
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, he paid $12,000 for his. So that's
cool.
22. Jeez.
Notice there's only 3 hands on there.
It's a Submariner.
Yeah, they are. It's a Submariner. But
yeah.
And you know what's weird is the coloring, like that one with the black face, the one you were just on, that's a Hulk. A Kermit has a full green face.
Like this one? This one says Hulk green. Let's compare.
Pull up the Kermit. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You want to prove me wrong, don't you?
No, I don't. I'm just curious.
You bad boy.
I've got no skin in the game here, sir. I think your story is interesting. I'm excited for you that you were able to seem watch smart in front of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just for a moment. It was
I'm
just
just
for a
going,
moment.
got to celebrate the wins. I'm going along for the ride.
That's it.
There it is.
So dark
About
green, light
5
green,
miles out of Barstow.
when the acid, sorry,
And
these goddamn bats. Which the Kermit
stop here. This is
is
backcountry.
So wait, Kermit and Hulk are both green and black?
No, Kermit should be fully green and Hulk should be black.
no, green and black is the Kermit apparently,
Oh,
because
okay.
this is the Kermit page, and then this is the Hulk page, which I don't know.
The
how that
Hulk
one's-
is the green
There's
on
no
green.
difference.
Hulk
Green
is
on
green
green.
on green.
Green on green is the Hulk, and green on
Okay,
black. Is
all right.
Kermit.
So I had
Yeah,
it back.
backwards.
Okay, I
There we
can't
go.
remember. I mean,
It's all good.
I don't have enough money to buy any of them. So
No, I'm just curious. Kermit, Hulk, Pepsi.
Comparison.
They had a Coke one too that was black and red.
Yes, that's correct. Because if you're gonna do Pepsi, you got to do Coke also.
Mhm.
Rolex watch nicknames: Pepsi, Coke, Kermit, Hulk, Smurf, Polar, and more. There we go. The Batman.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
there's a Batman also.
Is that gonna be black and yellow?
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
I don't.
Not sure of the difference between a Rolex, Pepsi, Kermit, or Hulk. And you have even heard of a Saru or a Smurf? Never fear, our guide is here to educate and prevent any embarrassment. The first thing to know is that most of these are not official or designated by Rolex themselves, but have evolved over time by the Rolex fans and the collector community. The nicknames are inspired by a variety of factors, including the color combination of the bezel and dial, or another subtle design feature, or because someone famous wore a particular model and became associated with it, or there's also a naming convention based on official Rolex reference numbers, with the letters at the end often being used as a nickname or shorthand for the model.
That's gonna be Saru.
Saru, most likely. Here we are focusing on Rolex models that are for sale now, widely available and pass through our showrooms regularly. So don't expect to see a Paul Newman or JPS Paul Newman listed here. You can also read our article covering the cheapest Rolex models for sale if you're looking to get started with an entry level timepiece from the brand. Yeah, we'll put that on the next tab for later. Tink. Good blog.
If we're gonna continue on this rabbit hole, which we don't have to, but when they say the Paul Newman,
Yeah.
I don't know currently if it's still the same, but it is the most expensive watch ever purchased. A woman bought a Paul Newman Rolex. It has like you should bring it up. It's got like 3 little dials on it. It's confusing as can be to me.
Now I want to see it.
Yeah, it just looks bizarre. It's like 3 clocks on one watch. And this woman, I think she paid over $1 million, primarily because it was owned by Paul Newman. Which, yeah, who can blame her?
Yeah.
That guy's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, but
If I was,
taking Paul Newman out of my bed.
the James Cameron is on the list.
That's the one at the bottom of the sea.
We'll take a look at the Paul Newman because I think we need to. But let's we'll spin through these real quick. Then we'll do a little commercial break and we'll come back and we'll do I don't know. I didn't have a plan.
What are we gonna do? Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. I put it on the Facebook site. All right, put it on the show notes tonight. We will do Jeff Coy's mom. No, that's not a punchline. No, we don't do that anymore. It's not
Man.
funny.
I
Used to
told
be
you
funny.
guys, day one, I told you.
It used to be funny.
No, I'll tell you why. Doesn't unbank your mom.
The hell was that?
I will tell you that the one thing that I don't see
It
on that
doesn't
watch right
unbang
there
Your mom is
is
blood.
there's supposed to be 1 diamond on that watch. And the way Dr. DiMatteo described it was I don't have any other jewelry except this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, yeah, you just justified it. That's cool. You know, women buy earrings and pearls and all kinds of stuff. He's like,
diamonds and pearls.
he just laid it down. But when we look at that picture, I don't see the diamond, which makes me think that that's actually not a real Rolex.
Somehow I doubt that every Rolex has a diamond. And then I would also doubt that these guys, who looks like this is their whole business.
What do you call me, a liar? You call me a liar, Jeff?
I just said I doubt. It's not obvious to
I'm
me.
gonna get my car and drive to Arizona.
I'm gonna use a Jordan
Face
Peterson
to
term.
face.
I'm gonna use a non-confrontational Jordan Peterson term. It's not obvious to me that the purveyors of this site, which is representing their entire business, would use false pictures of their product. But maybe I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong.
I'm sorry. Which one of us actually wore this and saw it?
Mm-hmm. Not me.
Because you looked at something, you're an expert.
Yep, that's how it is.
Absolutely, sir.
Oh, you know which one you should look up, dude?
Yeah.
Look up the
The
Michael
one
Jackson.
with no diamond on it. The other one with no
The
diamond.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson one. It's black and white, made of plastic and dead.
Nice. That's fucking beautiful. Dun, dun.
Okay, so two weeks ago.
Oh wait, what's here? Another fake one. There's no diamond.
Okay, you know what? You win. You're right. 2 weeks ago, I'm up.
I'm Batman.
I'm up
That was
in
the
cowboy
Batman
country up in Dallas and Fort Worth, and it's a little frightening for me. But you know,
that one has diamonds.
Diamonds and pearls.
Cowboy hats everywhere, and we go back at night to go to the steakhouse and do, have a nice dinner. And there's a Michael Jackson impersonator walking around, but he's not doing anything. He's not moonwalking. He just has a bucket and he carries it with him, and he's got the little hat on, and and I'm thinking, where am I?
He's just cosplay. He's just basically dressed up like Michael.
Yeah, and I guess he just walks around because there's nothing out there except for one street, and that one street is everything. I mean, there were low riders. There was one car hit the three-wheel motion, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen that in person. I saw music videos with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and things like that, but I've never seen it in person. So now I'm feeling kind of gangsta, what up, bud? But yeah, pretty funny.
How much was it for Halloween?
13.
Ooh, that's a gross looking Rolex.
Yeah.
James Cameron, we're gonna look up that one. That was the next. And then if you want to see a couple of cheap entry level watches, we'll take a look at that too. And then we will move on to other things. Are you guys into a little trivia?
Yes.
Trivia?
Oh, trivia, yes.
Trivia tonight, if we do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't mind looking dumb. Sure.
Yeah, me neither. I don't mind you looking dumb. Here we go. This is a polar. This is called the Amy Polar.
It's a polar asshole.
So this was the why are Rolex is so popular, and then what does it take to get a cheap one? How much is the cheapest Rolex watch? The most affordable new and pre-owned Rolex watches are models in the Oyster Perpetual range, which is the brand's entry-level model. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual comes in a no-date stainless steel version with a variety of dial colors from 34 millimeters to 41. The next cheapest Rolex is Date Just, which comes with a smooth, domed, and fluted bezel in wide variety of dial designs and colors. In terms of sizing, you're looking at anywhere between 31 and 41 all stainless steel. So that's the diameter. I like a fat watch.
Did you guys ever Entourage at all?
Oh, I love Entourage.
That looks like your
Oh.
grandma's watch right there, doesn't it?
I love
don't know if
Turtle.
It's kind of goofy looking.
Yeah, Turtle's great. But there is a point where what was the
That one's nice.
what was the guy that is I like that.
Ari?
I like that. I would totally
Yeah,
wear that.
Ari.
Yeah.
How did I
Ari.
know?
Remember when Ari was bringing in his old friend from the Valley and his assistant, who was the little Asian guy,
Little Asian guy, yeah.
and
Lloyd.
boy, see, boy, I, fantastic! You're on top of it, man.
I did like that show.
I did too, and I watched it a bunch, but I don't remember it like you do. But I do remember there was a point where Ari was bringing him in. He was going to have lunch with him, and Lloyd was like, "You might want to lose the watch." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. Go downstairs and get me a stainless steel Rolex." Because his was gold and it was too expensive to be seen with his friend from back in the day, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
and Lloyd was kind of like saying, "Hey man, you know, you're gonna make him uncomfortable with your watch."
Mm.
And that is really literally the watch game in the world.
Yeah.
If you decide to jump into it,
Right.
like you see guys that show up and are carrying this thing on their wrist to, you know.
It's like your calling card, and it's like you're in the club, right?
Yeah.
So you're signaling you're in the club, but you can make
Who you
adjustments.
are.
So you're not too ostentatious.
This is
You're
my
right.
watch right here.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
My dad collected watches, but he was more of a bartering sort of guy. Like he collected pocket knives. Like I've got probably 200 pocket knives that are anywhere between value wise, like $5,000 for a pocket knife to, like $20. But he
What?
like, yeah,
There's
he like
$5,000 pocket watch.
or
Well,
he like pocket
I'm sorry,
watches too.
Yeah.
I actually have pocket watches, knives, pens, and watches because he liked those things.
I
Yeah.
remember your dad's pocket watch collection, and it actually got me into pocket watches. I loved pocket watches from watching your dad.
Yeah. I gave Hunter for his 16th birthday. I gave him a watch box with going back to his great granddad. Also, my pocket watch. I got one for Hunter for his birthday, and then mine, my dad's, a couple of my dad's, grandfathers, great grandfathers, and I gave it to him, and I said, "You're the man now. You are the carrier of the artifacts." He was overwhelmed. He was crying. He was like, "Ooh, this is a big deal."
And how long did you carry that chunk of metal up your ass while you were in prison?
Yeah, like three years.
Up my ass. 3 years.
3
years
years I
I carried
carried
it up my
that chunk of metal up my ass.
Yeah, this
You
is your
gotta
birthright.
give it
Gotta let those gooks have it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Asians.
Get
your
the
birthright.
mix on this. It's your legacy. Your father's legacy.
And
Oh.
damn if he was gonna let somebody else. Horrible.
That's a great
Horrible.
story.
Horrible.
Excellent movie.
Was
Excellent
that
choice.
from Batman?
No, it was from Pulp.
It sounds like
Yeah, it was Tim Burton, Batman.
That's right. Nightmare Before
he was
Christmas.
Batman.
Keaton, right? Michael Keaton. That was Michael Keaton, right?
that story would go well in two places, and you'll understand once. Yeah, you'll understand the connection. That theme would have worked in True Romance
Or Deliverance.
as well as Pulp Fiction. But picture True Romance,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
Christian Slater.
Christian Slater.
You taste like a peach. What was her name?
Hell, what's her name?
Arquette.
Yeah, it was Rosanna Arquette.
Patricia Arquette.
Oh,
She
was
was
Patricia Arquette?
a tasty peach back then. Christian Slater, and then you had, was it Christian Slater?
Yeah, Slater.
Yeah, of course. And then you had Christopher Walken was in that movie also. And
Are you sure it was Christopher? I can't.
I love it. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Every
doggone
once
good.
in a while I can do it, and that was not it. I was going Shatner real fast.
or
Sorry.
Cowbell.
Yeah.
Kevin
Uh,
Pollak does a good. does a
Kevin
good
Paul
impression.
does great impressions all around. He's
Yeah,
quite,
he's amazing.
he's quite skilled.
You ever watch The Aristocrats?
The Aristocrats, the
The joke.
the joke movie, yes.
The joke movie. Yeah, when he did. The
What do you
joke
call
as
your act?
Christopher Walken doing the joke.
Yeah.
was
What do you call your
amazing.
act? The Aristocrats. If you don't, for those of you who may not know what that the inside joke is, there is the Aristocrats is an inside joke even for comedians, and there's a premise and a punchline, but it's up to the comedians to make up everything else in between the story. And the premise is it's a traveling family, kind of like a circus type family, where they do an act, okay, and they want to get discovered, so they get a chance to do their act in front of
Talent agent or whatever.
talent agent, and then they do their act. Now the act is the part that the comedians make up. It could be all sorts of things. There tends to be
A little bit of filth.
a little bit of filth, a little bit of incest, a little bit of just horrible things happen during the act, and then like everyone is so, and then the punchline is, so what do you call your act? The Aristocrats.
That's it.
That's the
It's
punchline.
amazing. And if you ever see Bob Saget do the version, that joke, it's the funniest thing you'll ever see.
It's like the filthiest.
The worst one you'll
filthy.
ever see too. But
He's sucking up his mom, and then he's
shitting on the chest.
Well, and not to do a full circle, which I always love, but going back to Entourage.
Yeah.
How about half
Bob
circle?
Saget on Entourage.
Oh my god, dude!
Was he
And this was in his Full House days, where you're just going, "What the heck?"
Are
where
you kidding me? Are you this comfortable to be this outrageous?
this was okay? So this was during Full House when nobody knew his stand-up before because of the
Yeah.
nature of who was got on the HBO comedy specials.
Right.
Then he lands Full House. You have no idea that he's a filthy road comic for like 8 years, right? 10 years.
Yep.
And then you find out afterwards he's not just the guy from America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, talk about the two most vanilla things in the country.
Vanilla. That's it.
America's Funniest Home Videos and
He looks so
Full House.
perfect. He looks like he works at a library or
Yep.
he's your math teacher at
Mhm.
school.
Danny Tanner.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he's just like, yeah, I'm, fucking hookers and doing blow. and all
Blow, yeah,
that.
exactly.
Going,
You had no idea. I had no idea he was a shot comic until probably like 12 years ago, maybe. Like he wasn't really, I don't know that he was not in anything active. And then, I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the scene. And then I think I was flipping channels and I was just like, flip, flip, flip. And he's in the middle of saying like, so she was eating my asshole, right? Like you guys know, like I'd eat your assholes. I think you guys are good enough. I'd do it. I would. Come on. I'm a nice guy. Just,
come on, I'm a nice guy.
and I was like, did Danny Tanner just offer to eat everyone's ass in the theater? And I was like, and I just paused, and I was like halfway through the special, and I think I just laid there on my side with my mouth agape, and I was puzzled and pleased at the same time, and a little bit horrified and then amazed. I was like, I felt like a part of my innocence had just like the last piece of my
It just
innocence.
died. A little part of
died.
it just died.
Like he was like the beacon. I had no idea. I'm like, oh no, not everything as it appears.
Quick, bring Uncle Jesse in. I think we can handle that.
Oh God.
Well, in that Entourage,
Uncle Jesse
the
playing
way
drums
he
for
played, I have a very high
Beach
respect
Boys.
for the actors who play themselves and
Uh-huh.
make fun of themselves.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
And I'm just like, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
Like in Entourage, going back to that, where he's just like, hey, who do you think gets more pussy, you or me, you know? Who do you think is more famous, you or me? You know, he's like, hey, I gotta hand it to you, man. You got the madam. Everybody wants the madam, but you got her.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
It's like, what am I watching? And why am I watching it?
That's right. Oh, it's too funny.
Quick, bring Turtle
know,
and bring that was the other thing.
Johnny Drama.
Yeah, I was gonna say Johnny Drama. What I don't know.
Viking
Again,
Quest, Excelsior.
I was a big Entourage fan, so of course you guys know Wahlberg. That's basically Wahlberg's
Life.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And Johnny Drama is a real guy.
Mhm.
Johnny Drama auditioned to be Johnny Drama.
It didn't
And
get the
they
part.
said no. He's
He
like,
didn't get his own part.
I can't even play myself.
well, Cosmo Kramer was a real guy. Like that part is like,
Yes.
what?
Mhm.
What? Yeah.
Jerry.
And
Jerry.
Not until Larry David came out doing his own show did I realize George Costanza was exactly him.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
exactly. Mannerisms and everything. Like I was like, oh, he is that dramatic. He's the dramatic Jew. He really is like legit.
Mhm.
And I fell in love with Curb Your Enthusiasm for that reason.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, like now I know Larry's not acting. Larry's being Larry, his drama queen Jewishness.
Mhm.
Because I can see George Costanza in him. So I was like,
Makes
genius,
sense. Makes sense. Yep.
genius. So I never watched Entourage.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Dude, go back and watch it.
I hate you.
Go back
So
and
I
watch it.
was, I was, Grey's Anatomy married at the time. Entourage was on, so you had to pick. I got her to watch Game of Thrones. So there were certain trade-offs. So this was never one of them. However, I did pick up the book, Ari Gold's Keys to Success.
I love Ari Gold.
Are you
It's
there's a book called Ari Gold's Keys?
Yeah, something like that. I have it in my bathroom. I'll show it to you.
I need to go find this book.
But it's written as him. And I was
love
like,
it.
That's brilliant.
Jeremy
That's
Piven
brilliant.
is amazing as Ari.
and you know what's crazy is Jeremy Piven, his Ari character is based on Ari Emanuel, who is brothers with what is his name? Is it Rob Emanuel? Ron? The guy, the mayor of Chicago, who was also worked. The mayor of Chicago he was in Clinton's White House or Obama's White House. Rahm
Oh, really?
Emanuel.
Rahm
Rahm
Emanuel.
Emanuel.
I don't know anything.
Rahm Emanuel, who's the mayor of Chicago, previously worked in the Obama White House. As his right hand man. His brother is Ari Emanuel, who's one of the biggest producers in Hollywood, who Ari Gold is based on.
That is crazy.
So it's all
I
legit.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, man.
Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
I follow him on Facebook just because of his character with Ari. And then he was in Judgment Night too. I liked him in Judgment Night back in '92.
Yeah. I liked him in PCU.
PCU. Oh, I love PCU.
Whoop whoop.
Oh,
If you put George
Yeah.
Clinton in a movie,
Yes.
it's so
I'm
good.
down.
So good. And
It's too high to get over, too
What's
wide
it-
to get around, too low to get under.
Gutter. Who played Gutter? The guy who revolutionized Marvel. Tony Stark's right hand man
I think you just lost
in the
his
movie
phone.
Chef. In the movie
What are you
Chef.
talking about? Are you talking about
Oh, in the movie?
He actually wrote Iron Man.
Yeah. Because
What's his name?
He's kind of a heavy set guy. Who
Yeah. Yep.
big curly hair and
Yep.
but he's Star Wars now.
Yep. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
And I'm always going to Dave Filoni. It's not Dave Filoni. What the hell's his name?
Jeff will have it here in a minute.
No, he does the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's revolutionized the whole.
He re-revolutionized Star Wars. And how do I forget his freaking name? Because I'm so focused on Kathleen Kennedy's stupid ass.
Iron Man.
So actually, while he's checking this up, let me ask you guys. This new Disney Star Wars thing that's out.
Mhm.
I don't even know the name of it. I know it starts with an A.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andor.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Can you? Okay.
John Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
Can you?
John
can you-
Favreau played Gutter.
Can
Do you remember Gutter?
Can you explain to me for 1 minute what I am watching? I am enjoying it, and I'm like, I've watched the first 3 at least.
Okay.
And finally, I was kind of like, oh, this is pretty damn cool.
You've seen
But I
Rogue One, though,
still
right?
don't know. Yeah, and you know what? I almost got my ass beat in a bar a couple of weeks ago because I am one of the few Star Wars fans who did not like that movie.
Okay, well, yeah, you're ostracized here because that is my favorite.
I know.
But Rogue One is the story of Cassian Andor, the one who has the robot, the robot who gets with Jyn Erso.
Oh, that's okay.
He's the one who is her pilot, the pilot of her ship.
Nice.
And he's the one who gets killed on the planet.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Turn off your ears. He's the one who gets killed with her on the planet at the end. He's the one who's climbing up to get the plans.
So what is this show?
So this show is his life leading up
prior
to Rogue One.
Getting
into Rogue One.
That's what I figured it was, but I wasn't sure, and I was really confused in watching it.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, like, I recently saw something because I follow Star Wars pages. I saw where finally people are saying Solo was not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
And
I
know it was a little long. I give it that.
I loved it.
I did too. And the way they shot it, and the way they did everything, and the introduction with Chewbacca and everything, like, I mean, my dog's name is Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in 100%.
Well, this last episode of Andor is
No.
intense. Andor.
Stop.
No,
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just saying it's intense. It's intense.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's finally getting good, but it took the 3rd episode for me to kind of go,
yeah.
Okay, he's trying to bail the planet right now, and I see the little Hitler character, you know.
Yeah.
And he's out to prove himself and do
Skarsgård. Skarsgård's amazing. That guy.
Well, yeah, and he just got introduced because they just ran out on a speeder bike, which I love fucking speeder bikes.
This guy who plays the Imperial officer, the commanding officer, he's a very good actor. The way he portrays himself, he's good.
Is that the Hitler guy?
The guy in all white, the white old man.
Oh, see, no, I haven't seen
White privilege.
Yeah, you'll see him. The way he portrays himself is just amazing. Yes, this show is great.
Streaming September 21st.
That's good because
Skarsgård. Do you know who his children are?
Yeah, they're he was in what's it called? Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Also, one
there
of
was
them
another
is
revenge movie, or like
Pennywise the Clown, and the other one was in True Blood. He was a sexy blonde vampire. These
Vikings.
boys, these are his sons. So he's a True Blood actor.
The Northman, that's what it was.
And then Pennywise the Clown, yeah, that's him.
You want to hear an embarrassing moment from my side about the True Blood thing?
Yeah.
What did you came? Yeah.
No. But after getting into True Blood and watching it and getting addicted because my ex-wife was really into it, and I finally
I loved it. I loved it.
I was
on
like,
my own.
this is actually good.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and bought a full Adidas tracksuit.
Nice.
Just
so
like him.
So that I could wear it around the house like he did.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. God bless you.
I was just like, this guy is too cool for school.
Too effing cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
look at that.
It's every guy's little fantasy. I didn't know that he was Pennywise.
I didn't know he was Pennywise either.
Oh, his brother is Pennywise. So these are 3 brothers.
Oh.
Skarsgård brothers.
Oh, there's okay.
Yeah. So
he was the best.
Down there, that one you're pointing at, right?
oh my god.
He was the best vampire.
Bill.
Bill
So
Skarsgård. Yeah.
and then his brother is
Evan, Anton,
Oh, now I hate these guys. Three
Alexander.
successful people, and they're all beautiful. Oh, I don't like them at all.
I hate that.
The whole
Yeah.
family's amazing.
Yeah, they're
And,
talented. They're talented and they're beautiful.
They're-
Bullshit.
You know what? They're nothing compared to us guys.
And
Right.
We've got
even-
it all covered.
That's right.
what do you think? What do you think? If it wasn't for this day and age where bald is beautiful,
Mhm.
he would be like Stephen Baldwin. You know, like he would be angry. He'd be the one who moved to Tucson. But nowadays, nobody cares.
Yep.
Did you know that male pattern baldness is actually strangely going away?
No, I did not know that.
Think if you went back and look at anything from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? There's like a ton of men who losing their hair on top, right?
Very true.
It seemed very, very prevalent. And if you look in actors in television and movies, they had to contend with that all the time.
Mhm.
And then if you think about it now, like there are obviously men who are going bald and they shave their head, and so that's considered completely appropriate. So it doesn't look like awkward because they just embrace it.
Yeah.
But even that amount of men is diminishing, and there's a reason. You want to know the reason?
Please.
Nutrients.
Basically, testosterone has been depleted in men, where like my son probably has 2/3 less, or at least a third, if not more, less testosterone than I had at his age. And they think it's from phthalates, which is plastic. Basically, it's a byproduct of plastic phthalates that are in water and in
Water bottles. Yeah.
food and water bottles and everything else. If you were a theorist, you would say that it's on purpose, just like all the other eugenics things to reduce the population, reduce your testosterone, reduce your sperm count. But male pattern baldness comes from an overproduction of testosterone. The byproduct is dihydrotestosterone, which attacks the hair follicles. So men with male pattern baldness tend to have elevated testosterone, and then they'll have like hairy forearms like Popeye, and big forearms like Popeye, and then they'll have this, male pattern baldness will kick in when they're
Like Steve Garvey.
20. Yeah.
Ah,
Except Steve Garvey had his hair too, which was crazy. He had huge Popeye arms. But there's less bald kids out there right now, because you would if you were gonna have elevated DHT, it would show when you're in your like 18, 19 years old that you had already had like 5 years of that, and your hair follicles would already be killed. So look around and see how many balding kids you see, and you're going to realize you don't see any. It's because the
Interesting.
testosterone levels are not going to reach that level ever again. So if you look around like the 20s
mhm.
and 20s to the 60s and 70s, and especially that post World War II, when men were still loving men, and there's a reason why they died when they were 60 years old of a heart attack. It's because they were fucking men. They were the dudes who can lift a car off of you.
Yeah.
It's gone away. The feminization of men through the destruction of testosterone is pretty nuts. Now it does make for pretty men.
Okay. I have someone to say.
She's very pretty, isn't she?
Georgie.
He's less pretty because he's got too much testosterone. But we were in prison. Somebody's mouth is high. Okay. Anyways, so
Interesting.
there you go.
I have several comments on this. So
Okay, you go.
you steer me as you want to as we go through this. Number one, my youngest cousin is completely bald, and he's
Damn it. I was trying to do that.
And the last time I saw him, I was like, do you do this? And he goes, well, I had baldness showing up, so I just shaved. Truth be told, if I have my choice, although I take it down as tight as I can, if I wasn't lazy, I would go bald in a heartbeat.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, and when I was growing up, I had, can't see it, but I had hair down to here, middle of my back, because I was a rocker guy, and I had
Gay.
right.
What?
I have hair on my back because I'm just a freaking bear.
Yeah, I have hair on my back. I just
But-
have to.
It only took one night where I watched my friend come back from Europe off a tour. You guys might even know the band Psychotic Waltz. They were San Diego band, but
All right.
the guy comes back, he was balding, and he shaves his head, and all of a sudden he's like the sexiest thing in the world.
Mhm.
Right.
Crap.
Look at Chris
I went-
Daughtry.
I went into Supercuts the next day, and I'm like, take it all off. The girl was afraid to do it. She didn't want to do it. She's like, are you sure? How about I just do a little? I'm like, just take it all off. I know what I'm here for. So
You went from long hair to bald, or to number
this.
2 quarter-inch.
yep,
So why don't you shave it? Shave it.
Yeah.
because I'm too lazy to keep up on it.
I'll buy you the Bulldog electric shaver that you can take it down to the skin in the shower. So it's handy dandy, no mess. You just run it back and forth. And if you like quarter-inch, number 2, whatever, you can do that also, but it'll take it all the way down to the skin if that's what you like.
You guys ever try the Manscaped?
Mm.
That fucking
heard-
Manscaped, that razor, the Manscaped
Yeah.
razor. It's fucking amazing.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I don't do that anymore, because my current girlfriend, I asked her, and she's like, no, men should have hair.
Well,
Yeah.
you should. She's older. She's like 10 years older than him. So, she's like, back in my day, there was bush. Give me that bush.
We've got Bush.
I got
You've got
70
bush.
I got 70s porn bush going down here.
Damn.
Nice.
I can grow it
Nice.
wild, grow it crazy.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I'll do a plug for him. That shit's amazing.
Manscaped, man.
Yeah.
It's got a light on it too. And
It's got a fucking
waterproof.
light, and the blade's made of like, I don't know, it's like a plastic, but it does not cut at all. It doesn't cut your skin at all. Hair gone, skin is fine. You can fucking stab yourself with it. It will do nothing.
I personally like the thrill that comes with snipping my scrotum.
You like all that blood all over your sink.
You're like, oh Lord.
Fuck. I think I hit an artery.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God, you guys are
Is that
bad.
my vas deferens? Oh, I can just snip it right now.
Ah,
That's
plug
bad.
for them though. I bought it. I was like,
bad.
let's check it out. And
That's
I'm like,
bad.
fuck, this is nice.
How did Adams die? Oh, he gave himself a vasectomy with a clipper.
Cut his dick off.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Oh, well, I had
Ouch.
more to say, but now
Oh,
that
go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sure I can retract into my mind to find what I was going to talk about. But
I wanted to show a couple of clips of some best of Ari Gold's.
Oh, I
Best of
love
Ari
it.
Gold.
oh yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do
do
it.
it. Go
Since
for
I
it.
haven't had the pleasure of, I think maybe I've watched one or two basically.
Nah, you're in
You
for
know
a treat.
what? And before you do the clips, and maybe you'll agree, that show is, like many shows, they have a big cast and it's
Mhm.
great, but watching Ari is the best part of the show
100%.
because
100%.
he finds the character on a Mentos commercial and goes, he's going to be a star. He grabs him, and even though he runs this industry of
Mhm.
all kinds of celebrities,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he always focuses on his one star. It's like a personal connection that he has.
Mhm. 100%.
And even when it all goes off board at a certain point and things get horrible and all kinds of things, and Ari goes through horrible times too. He gets screwed, he loses everything, he's offered everything, and he's trying to work out how to make it work with his wife. I mean, it's a very complex character.
Mhm.
So
but he never
We're not
forgets
gonna
his
be able to
loyalty.
do it justice here, but
And he never forgets his loyalty. You're right.
You're saying his loyalty never wanes, though. I think I saw a scene, and I think I love Jeremy Piven. And the scene that attracted me to the character without seeing a lot of it, which is why I picked up the book when I saw it, was I remember whatever was going on, drama. I remember him talking to the Adrian guy with the long hair,
Adrian Gannier.
and he's like, he goes, no matter what happens, it's me and you. It doesn't matter.
Then he
You lose it. He was like, if you lose it all, we can start over.
so
Like, it doesn't matter. And he was like, he was giving him like a little speech, like, don't freak out. Like, I'm 100% got your back.
Yep.
If it costs me everything.
So one thing I will add is when I started watching it the first time, and it didn't carry all the way through to the end because they had to derail at a certain point when he started like dating a porn star and things like that.
Yeah.
Went into drug rehab and all these things and ended up on a beach, where he was like, hey, I can live here for $250 a month and I'm doing great, but the early part of the show, as you know, Jeff, the secret's pretty relevant in my world.
The secret.
What it is or what it's not doesn't really matter. But he consistently was going back to it all the time. Like, and he had one rule because it's him and E.
Yeah.
And Eric, they just called him E. Scrappy little kid, New York, grew up, best friends, 100%. And he'd be like, do you want to roll the dice? He's like, we always do. Let's just do it. And that was the one thing in that whole entire show that I could relate with. It was like, I never say roll the dice, but I always say I'm like a cat. You throw me in the air, I'm going to land on my feet. Even if I'm not sure, it's going to happen. I just know it.
Right.
So
I'm like a cat. If you leave out a box with sand in it, I'll shit in it.
thank you for crapping on my statement.
Oh, wow, Ari, thanks. So, Ari, I'm having a little...
I was just making a comparison.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. This is good. I remember this.
Yeah.
You land on your feet.
This is when Ari is trying to kiss
poop.
ass.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the fucking Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought
turn
this
it
was
up.
a session on how my wife could learn to communicate. How to answer a question without a question. Basic Humanity 101. Which I thought, given your wall of fucking diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix or make her a mute.
What?
Volume up. It's low.
I can't make it louder than it naturally
That's
is.
actually, I can hear it just fine.
Oh, okay. It's just me then. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, let me see. Make sure. I'll double check. Let me double check my settings. Open volume mixer. Let's see. If one of them is low, then you can give me shit. Oh, it is low. It's at 79%.
Oh, gee. Did the musician know what was going on for a moment?
Don't make me mute you. Don't
To
make.
turn around and gang up on me, I have work to do. I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number, like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
You really want the word spoiler town in your pussy? Are you crying?
Yeah, I'm fucking crying. Get out of here, Babs. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Well, you look like you've been crying.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Dime store therapist. A man's life is on the line here, and all you give a fuck about is beating some stupid club record that will do what for you? Give you 5 minutes of pleasure while you fuck your underpaid emasculated husband tonight? How the fuck does he afford this place anyway? Isn't he a guidance counselor at a high school? Great work, Rob. Great work. See if you can read this. You're fired. And in case your ears are fucked, get the
Fuck out. Oh god, I hope they have the paintball scene.
How the fuck did he get her? Seriously. Fuck you. Fuck me. Hey, asshole, where's my car? I gave you my ticket first. As the French might say, no, I fucking cannot. My life is over.
Nobody's gonna know you did it.
Yes, they will, because Knight, the little sick fuck, printed my name on every fucking page.
So
Not fucking here. They fucking stole it. The motherfucker stole it.
what? Did they replace it with this?
What the fuck is that? Get in there. What are you, fucking blind?
You're the one that drove it home, schmuck.
Why would I buy a black cock? Plus, I got pictures, slides actually, of her begging me. You know what I'm saying? So here's the motherfucker. Who?
Heath,
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I need a fucking assistant! You self-righteous blackballing little cunt bag. Well, a nice day to both of you. Asshole.
That's at school.
Shut the fuck up. I've heard enough out of both of you today. Lloyd, go.
He fucked my wife, Ari.
He did not. You did? You fucked his wife? As you? Did you pretend to be him? Or did she actually fuck you thinking you were you?
You think this is funny?
No, I think it's disgusting.
Did you get the Billy Walsh script?
Shut the fuck up, Lloyd!
Yo, Vince, you here for Ari?
Why wouldn't I be?
Lloyd says he can't find E.
Oh, it's fine. Hey, Lloyd.
Hey, Vince, hold for Ari.
Okay.
I got Ari, Vince.
Ari.
Vince!
I got Vince.
I got fucking Vince. Vince! And Lloyd, you will also be fired if you don't answer the fucking phone!
All right, go to office. I liked Medellin,
Well,
Ari.
then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
maybe that was
fuck
the
you,
biggest.
baby!
You just did, Ari. What did he want?
Fuck you, Yoko. Get E on the phone.
Yoko.
Rusty cunt bucket. Fuck!
I wasn't laughing.
Fuck! And every bad thing
There's
that ever
Wahlberg.
happened to him for the rest of his life. You're the unfucking lucky charm. You hear me? Oh, here is $100. Please put it in a brown paper bag along with a nice big pile of shit and send it over there. Human shit, Lloyd. Right now.
What about doggy poo?
Human shit, Lloyd. Yours if it's easier. Otherwise, go camp out in the men's bathroom or the women's bathroom, whichever will have you.
I feel bad for him now.
Fuck him. When you're done fucking your enemies, fuck them some more. That is what we call a bitch slap. A bitch slap for a bitch. What do you say we go outside and finish it off, huh?
You were going down for this, Ari.
I don't
That
really
was
care.
an awesome scene.
Now you apologize for what you did, or I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Right here and right now.
Adam Davis crossed the line.
Count to 3. 1.
I apologize.
I can't hear you.
I said... I'm sorry.
I hate myself for the fact that even today, I still don't like you. I mean, I want to. I do.
Ari.
Baby,
Ari? What should I tell Jeffrey?
I don't give a fuck!
I'm so happy, Ari. You've made me very happy. I hope you're happy too.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Has so much cum been squirted in those eyes you can't see what's right in front of your face. Amanda Daniels takes that job, Vince is fucked, and I'm fucked, which means we're all fucked. And we're fucked in the way you like to get fucked, not fucked in the way that normal people like to get fucked. And she's gonna pay you your quote.
It's the second lead.
You're gonna pay him his quote, or Vincent Chase is going to announce on TMZ that the new head of the studio calls agencies and offers up hand jobs.
All right, and
You really are an idiot, E. Say it out loud. I am a fucking idiot.
This is not about you.
In so many fucking ways it is. But at the end of the day, She's just another young girl who's trying to make a name for herself, and you're just another old fuck who's gonna have to take a pill to keep up with her. Well, life isn't fair, so don't fucking cry. What the fuck are you doing?
John Stamos, and I signed him.
With a pen or his cock. You so much as I fuck another agent in this building, I will deport you naked to the Taliban. You weak, pathetic pussy. Get me Eddie Kapowski on the phone.
Any relation to Kelly Kapowski? You know, Saved by the Bell?
You're finished. Go. You're fucking fired. But you fucked me, and now you fuck someone else, and now I'm gonna fuck you. Can we fucking hear?
Oh yeah, the paintball scene.
Here it is.
I was waiting
Jesse,
for it.
How have you been?
I've been...
Great. I'm back, and you're fired. Hello all. No need to run. Your fates have already been sealed. You're safe.
Oh my God.
You're safe for now. Hello, nice to see you. Who's your best client?
Jesus. I represent John and Kate Pussy.
Where are you, Davies?
All right. I'm already packing to save myself the indignity.
That's too bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Did you lost your mind, Ari?
Now where's Lloyd Lee?
Mr. Lee knew that you were coming, Mr. Gold. He decided not to wait for your arrival.
Now why don't I believe you? Ari Gold is back and gonna be bigger than ever.
Wow. Right.
So good.
All right, I'm going on Amazon and buying the box set.
Oh, well, don't you have HBO?
No, I don't. I have Disney, Amazon, Stars, Netflix, but
I got Game of Thrones fever, so I do that.
you know, I've tried Game of Thrones 3 times.
Couldn't get into it?
I can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
I love it.
Something wrong with me.
Nothing wrong with you. It's all right.
No, it just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
It's hard to keep up with. So check it out.
Yeah.
This doesn't make you anything. Now listen, I had a buddy 15 years ago before the series came out. He was always standing up reading these damn thick ass paperback books, and I'd stop and talk to him. Michael, what do you read, Michael? Like George R.R. Martin, you know him, and Michael's from New Zealand, which is ironic. So he's like, yeah, George R.R. Martin. It's a series called A Song of Fire and Ice. I said, oh, okay. Well, you seem like you can't put it down. So, and I've seen a different colored books that all look like they're 800 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, there's right now there's 3 in the series, and he basically took the idea of like Tolkien did with the Lord of the Rings, and where he created kingdoms, and he created even languages and customs, and like he made this. He's like, is this sweeping epic, and there's like 5 families that all represent different, powers and guilds, and it's all, kind of it's like a Middle Earth fictitious, or maybe he's like, maybe somewhere in the history of the world you can imagine it could exist, right, when there were still kingdoms and all that. And I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, it's a little complicated because every kingdom has like, I don't know, 50 to 100 characters in it. And he says, and most tribes were 50 to 100 people in the tribe, and that's about, because that's about the maximum that you could remember. That's about it. So he took that idea and thought, well, we're gonna have like 5 different tribes, maybe 6, of about that many. He goes, so there could be anywhere between 300 and 600 characters in a story, and you have to be able to keep track of it. And I said, oh, that sounds horrible. I tried to read The Lord of the Rings, and I appreciated the idea behind it, but for some reason, I'm a fact-driven man, even though I do like some sci-fi fantasy stuff. I do like fiction, but it can't be more complicated than like the work that I do or the hobbies I pursue. I said, if I'm reading a book and it takes that much brain space to keep the characters in my head like separated, know who's what, that's too much work, dude. I you know, my brain is, I spend that effort just getting through life. You know, I'm the same guy who doesn't come home and I don't want to play diner dash games, and I don't want to play something that has a timer on it that I have to get food out at a certain, because I've done those jobs. I said, to me, that's not leisurely. Time-based games and, you know, books or characters that are too complicated, I'm like, I spend my life doing that. That doesn't relax me. He was like, well, I would just say give it a shot. And I'm like, oh, he's like, you're a smart guy, you'll figure it out. So I'm like, oh, there you go, flattery. So I pick up the first book, and I started reading it, and I remember I enjoyed the characters, Jon Snow, Tyrion Lannister, and he sold me on Tyrion Lannister, the midget. He was like, Tyrion Lannister is the best. He goes, he's the thread that goes throughout all the books. No matter what, no matter who dies and go, he's like he's the angel and devil on the shoulder at the same time. And he's interwoven throughout everything, because he's like paying attention, and he's the guy, he's like Jiminy Cricket. That's what he told me. He's like Jiminy Cricket. He's there to tell you what you need to know and what you need to pay attention to. He goes, so pay attention to Tyrion, because although he's a character within a kingdom, he's also the thread through the entire story. And that was the only reason why I was able to pick up that book. And even though I had to go back and reread stuff, because I'm like, wait, where are we now? Who the fuck, who are these people? This was before the show came out. So it wasn't like I had anything to manifest who those characters were, except for my imagination and trying to relate complicated names. And that's the part that's really hard, Matthew, is the names are all so unique. Sansa and Joffrey and Tyrion and Tegan, and like there's so many, and it's not like it's a simple delineation of like, this is Team Matthew, this is Team Bob.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Baratheon. Okay, that's such okay. I don't even
50
know.
different Baratheons.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm making up a word in my head that I think I can relate when I look at that word that sounds like that. But that was even more complicated because there's no one tells you how to pronounce them. So I'm like, even trying to relate the story back, like Elisa would be like, what are you reading? I'm like, well, there's these really Tyrion. I think I can agree that I've heard someone say his name, but all these other names I've never heard anyone pronounce, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing them right. And I'm using words and language and names that are foreign to me and trying to keep them uniquely divided. And my only clue is looking at the word and trying to relate it to something. So it took me a long time to get through it. I did read the first book, which is pretty much the first 2 seasons of the show. Kind of fits the first book.
Yeah.
When I'm an accomplished reader, I've read, not exaggerating, 4 books. No, I'm just kidding. I've read somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 books.
5,000?
5,000 plus. Yeah.
About right. Yeah. Well, I remember you were a big Louis L'Amour fan growing up too.
Right. Getting through Louis L'Amour, but that was like 100, 105.
Yeah.
Like, I read them all twice. So, you know, I'm a prolific reader, and you know, that being said, it was very complicated for me. So when the show came out, I had to get Lisa, who is ADHD and a woman, because I really wanted to watch the show. I had to give her the story I just gave to you guys in order to get her to not quit. So I said, look, it's going to take a little bit, but visually you'll be able to understand who characters are after about probably 4 or 5 shows. There'll be enough commonality in that you'll be like, oh, okay, this person's familiar, or this plot line is familiar. I said, so can you promise me let's at least go for five hours of the show, if you're not into it by then I'm cool if you quit, because I wanted to quit 100 times. And she was like, okay, can I ask you questions along the way? I'm like, yeah, if you have questions, ask. I'll answer it if I can. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't in the book. But she actually got through, and she liked it a lot. And she was like, it's really good. And it's really, but it's a bit complicated to understand why it's good at first. She's like, but you're right. I said, don't try to stop trying to solve a mathematical problem when you're watching the show. Just sit back and be like, characters are doing things, and what is the emotion behind it?
Right.
Go simple.
Because that was me, dude. Rewatching an episode, going, okay, fucking, what did I miss here? I did it mathematically. I watched it going. I went back episodes. Wait, where did this come from? I missed this part.
Right. So she was able to like, okay, mathematically, like she's much more adept mathematically than I am. But I'm like, you're gonna weigh yourself out trying to keep everything in order. Don't do it. Just go with a vibe. Okay. And she's like, all right, we'll go with a vibe. And give her some wine. We'll watch the show. And she's like, wow, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but that was cool. There you go. And then halfway through, she would start to be like, oh, okay, I know who's who.
Start getting it.
So for whatever it's worth, Matthew.
Well, and you know what? I probably could have got further along. The girlfriend prior to my current girlfriend is the one that got me into it.
Yeah.
But I would have to pause and be like, what is this? But she was way into it. She's like, oh yeah, this is, these people are this is them. And
Targaryens, this is brothers.
Yeah, and she's explaining it to me. So I don't think I could have made sense of it otherwise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was a psychotic nightmare, but so I didn't get to do that.
That's why she could process that.
That's right.
But on the other hand, she also introduced me to Black Sails, which
I love Black Sails.
That was so good.
I love the intro. The intro was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, with the music, yeah.
Yes.
I bought YouTube TV just for that. Like it was amazing. It was worth the $40
you guys would flip, because not only do I have a t-shirt, but I have a sticker on the back of my car that is technically what they think Teach had, which is
what?
Yeah.
Blackbeard.
Yeah. Edward Teach.
Yeah.
And I started studying Edward Teach. I started learning about everything he did. And my current girlfriend and I went down to the Gulf, and we got on a pirate ship at one time because I had one down there, and we cruised around.
That's awesome.
And that's why I bought the shirt. I was just like, I'm going as Edward Teach, I love pirates, I relate completely. And especially his scene in that show, which I can see Jeff, he's checking it up already. If you can watch him do that barnacle rub, whoa!
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, it's hard. It's so hard. And to the point where every man on board is looking at this guy going, this isn't right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. That's it.
There it is.
That is exactly it. And if you want to know a little bit about it, so if you look to the far left, what he's actually holding there is it's supposed to be representing time.
Time. It's a time. What's it called?
Okay, yeah. It's
the hourglass.
Hourglass. Good job.
A spear through the heart, and with the blood falling off of it, means that a slow death is coming.
Nice.
I mean, and when they raised a black flag, which again, now we go back to like
Like this, just a matter of time.
Well, I was going to say we're kind of going back to punk rock at that point because like Henry Rollins and being a Black Flag, and I didn't understand what that was until this came up.
That's awesome.
But there's a whole translation, although nobody is exactly sure if that's true or not.
Well, it's like getting a tattoo.
It's one of those things that happened so long ago. There's no no proof to it.
That's dope.
Yeah, and the skull. There's all kinds of translations for all the different things that people posted for their Black Flag, essentially.
The whole age of the pirates is fascinating in and of itself. The Golden Age of Piracy, great book. Oh my gosh. But
yeah, and
how it came to be is even crazier.
Yeah.
Well, and when you watch that show, you start to realize the origins of where everything is, and you start to realize that this actually happened. That show is really about the end of piracy.
Yes,
and just their way out. Edward Teach's biggest thing that he did was, and I may be wrong because this was a long time ago, but that I read it, I think he held off a bay for at least a week, and everybody who came through to attack, he captured, and then he held them, and at the end he released them. Like, he wasn't a tyrant. And the only reason he was holding up the shoreline, and I think it was in, I want to say Boston, but that may not be right. But the only reason he did it was he was going in and stealing medicine, which he was going to take off to somewhere else that probably needed it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, how can you not be behind that?
No kidding.
Well, it's because they were abandoned by their country, and they were like, it's like you're being sent out to explore for your country, and then your country cancels your contract and says,
yeah, you're done.
You know what, go F yourself.
Yeah.
And that happened with Spain and England.
So
pirates were, you're basically, your armada is ready to continue exploration, and they're out there, and then let's say your country decides, either through bankruptcy, whatever the case may be, whatever's going on with them, they're like, we can't really afford to do this anymore, and they morph into people who need to survive. They're like, we need to survive. We're gonna all fucking die out here,
right?
And I could be wrong, but did we not just have a holiday on a Monday that we're not allowed to call it that anymore?
I don't remember. They don't do it out here anymore.
Christopher Columbus Day, the Indigenous People Day.
No, we don't call it that anymore.
It's ridiculous. I can't wait for this wokeism to be buried like a fucking bad memory. It's just, I'm tired of it.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think that's gonna happen?
Not in a lifetime, probably.
If all these emasculated, non-testosterone men and boys would stand up and say, no, we're done, fuck you, it will go away.
You're not.
It's the lack of telling the truth that enslaved the people under tyranny.
You're not allowed to say men and boys in the same sentence.
I don't care.
People frown.
It's the lack of telling the truth. The thing is that if you repeat the lies to each other, and everyone does, they say, oh, this is good. Oh, trans conversation being everything is good. Oh, diversity, equality, and inclusion, good.
What's the story in your head?
Whatever. Go back to critical race theory, good. Colonialism, bad. Just if you keep allowing people to repeat the lies as if they're truth, and no one stands up and goes, no, that's bullshit, stop. If nobody stands up to it because you've been shamed, You've been
I
shamed into being quiet.
totally disagree. I think what we need to do is pull down every monument that represents anything from history. Therefore, the youth will have no concept at all of what happened in the past, and they will have a clean slate to go out on their own and just, do whatever they feel.
The sad thing is it's not like the progressives. It's not that they hate capitalism, they hate humanity. And they see socialism as a way to destroy humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why next election I'm voting for Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden. I just got my electorate stuff in the mail.
Got mine too.
I actually read the propositions. I'm gonna do a show this week.
Perfect.
I should not be involved in that at all.
Have you read your propositions? Let's go through and read. Let's see what it's about. I know I'm Arizona, so it's not gonna be the same for everybody, but let's read who's Carrie Lake and why, what's actually her platform. And then who's Katie Hobbs, who's the treasurer, and what's her platform, and make a decision.
I like it.
There's just this lack of education, and you can tell which way things swing because they're required to print and distribute voices when you get your stuff in the mail. Get your book, and they'll say, "Here's the propositions." They'll give you the judges. They'll give you
look at your book.
Jesus Christ, mine's not that big.
They'll give you a report card on the.
I guess I need to go to my mailbox. I don't think I have one of those. I think
On
they
the
know that I'm
judges.
gonna vote, so they're kind of like, don't waste it on him.
So they'll give
And
you
yes,
arguments.
I just pissed off 90% of the listeners.
Arguments for and against, which I think are important. But to me, the funny part is when you can tell that the proposition is it's swinging towards, let's say, what's the right word to say this? Woke. It's woke based. It's about giving rights to something that doesn't need rights, which is about taking away rights from things that have it. Remember that.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Jeff.
What?
I would like to be wealthy. That sounds really good.
Yeah, you're not going to get wealthy on the backs of somebody else's work ever. So
I got really close.
You're
So
not- you-
what are you talking about?
you're not going to get wealthy with the government subsidizing you ever. So
Well, that's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
my buddy Bob Richardson,
Good old Bob.
good old Bob Richardson, he said, my dad told me to vote like this. He goes, vote all incumbent, all Republican, and no on every proposition. And I was like, well, that's very simplified. And he says, propositions are all about adding something. It's adding more tax, no matter what. No matter what. He goes, do you need to be taxed more for anything? Or is there enough money already out there that they can reallocate it? You don't need new taxes. He goes, so propositions are all taxes, so vote no. You don't need more. If you guys can't deal with the money that we already give you, then that's on you. Sorry that you're making false promises to people, but propositions are about more taxes. I said, oh, that's a good point. I was like 18 when he told me this, 17. And he said, if they are already incumbent and they haven't fucked up, if you haven't heard about them and then just vote yes, even if they're Democrat. If you haven't heard this, it was an interesting perspective. If they haven't messed up and they're already in there, then let the status quo go, because he said relationships have already been established to keep the wheels of government turning, which it's okay for them to turn, but it's not okay for them to turn wrong. If someone's misstepped, if you hear about them in the news, it's probably time to remove them. So then he goes, then that's your last option, which is vote conservative. So if you're going to replace somebody, put somebody conservative in there, because the expectation is that, again, no dramatic changes to the government. So no more taxes, no dramatic changes. And I was like, that's interesting. And I've thought about that for every election. I think about it. It doesn't mean that I vote that way every time, though, because if I vote, I vote based on what I understand to be the best choice that I can make in that moment from my limited understanding. But it does at least give me that kind of foundation that no one ever really had.
Yeah.
Vote no, vote incumbent, or vote Republican. And I said, or
You,
conservative. Cool.
do you guys, and I'm sure you do, because for those of you listening at home, these guys are a year ahead of me because I got held back 1 year. And that's just reality. But Jake Bagnell, you guys remember him?
Who?
Bob Bagnell.
Jake? Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if he did this with you guys or not, because, you know, it was back 1 year. But he had access to a bunch of recordings. And he, you know, I didn't take auto shop with him, but he loved teaching history. It was like a passion for him.
He was the auto shop guy, right? The auto
He was the
body.
auto shop
Yeah,
teacher.
he was the auto shop teacher. Yeah, Jake Bagnell. That's what he did. But according to being a teacher, you couldn't just do auto shop. You had to teach an actual class half the year.
Right.
So he became a history teacher because that's what he liked to do. He had recordings that I probably never should have heard, but they changed my whole philosophy on life and
Really?
everything else. And he said that he played them every single year for everybody. But I don't know if that's true or not. And obviously you guys didn't hear.
I never had him. I was always in advanced placement classes. So
Oh, well, I was stupid.
I was stuck with like, you know, five teachers basically. But
it was like literally secret recordings in high level situations where they were in like some type of boardroom situation where they were talking about the demise of Russia and bringing it all down. And it hadn't happened yet, but it was happening at that moment.
Right.
And these recordings were from way prior.
Yeah.
And
1950s.
so, you know, they were like a decade old.
Right.
So I got really confused. I thought, you know, wow, you know, the government has really kind of planned this out, you know. And I'm not a very political person, but I had a situation where somebody that I hold very dear to my heart, who's passed now, called me up and said, Matthew, can you come over tomorrow morning? This is a man that I would do anything for. So I'm like, yeah, what time? 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm there. Then he sat down and he was upset. And again, I'm going to probably piss off a lot of people and maybe even you guys. I don't vote. I refuse to vote until they change the system.
Okay. So
he did not, he hated that. He didn't like it. He's like, you have to vote. This is a critical time in our life. And I think it was under the Clinton administration. So, you know, he was like, we got to get Clinton in there. We got to do this. And I'm like, oh, no, it wasn't Clinton. It was Bush Jr. Because I said, no, it's already been decided. So you think your vote counts, but it really doesn't. He's like, well, how can you say that? I said, well, I'll break it down. And I used to be a lot better at it. I could tell you exactly how it broke down because I'm like, you can go either direction, man. You can go electoral college, you can go popular vote. They have a way out no matter what. And I said, this is already decided. He goes, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. And that is when Bush Jr. came in. And of course, as we know now,
it went to Al Gore on popular vote. The electoral college was also split, and they had to literally take it to the Supreme Court 38 days after the election in order to get them to throw it to Bush, who didn't earn it.
The world was laughing at us.
Right.
So who did that? Now we know Cheney did it. you know anything about Cheney, you know that he just was like, no, we won. Just tell me one.
How about his pappy? His pappy was in the CIA
Yeah,
early on.
yeah.
The CIA started making decisions in the 1960
Mm-hmm.
for what countries we were going to stay in. Not we're like, oh, we don't have to wage a war there. We'll just send Kermit Roosevelt over, and who's a like grandson of FDR, or maybe Teddy. But Kermit went over and deposed. He got the Shah of Iran out of there. No, he got the before the Shah. He got the Shah put in, but he went in basically a one man CIA went in and talked him into quitting quietly on the side. Hey, so we don't have to take you out. Do me a favor.
You got a choice. How do you want to do
Step
that?
down.
You want
And
to
then
step,
they put the Shah in, and then
you want
he
to
fucked up.
disappear? What do you want to do?
But yeah, we started surreptitiously controlling world countries and governments.
We
behind
have
the
to.
scenes.
We have to. Otherwise, we wouldn't have these things.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I hate to say it like that, but it's just the truth. It is. And thank God I'm white cracker ass, 1/3 Mexican, and I don't have to worry about it.
You want me to take you back 100 years to the Lucius Trust, which is what created was the precursor to Planned Parenthood, and which was the major arm of how do we eugenics. Oh, what is eugenics? It's cleansing your population. It's the reduction of people breeding and bringing forth more mongoloid negroids, according to Margaret Sanger. And it set up the 10 rules for how the New World Order, what the New World Order would have to do, which would be represented by the United Nations, which is why they put the building in New York. And the Lucius Trust is still in the UN building 100 years later as a spiritual entity. But they're like, here's what you have to do in order to perpetuate the New World Order is you're going to have to take Christianity out of schools. You're going to have to take parental rights away, and you're going to have to give rights to children. You're going to have to promote sexual promiscuity. And then in cases where it goes awry, we're going to have eugenics programs in order to kill the offspring of the ones that you don't want. They literally put it, there's a 10-point plan of these are the things you need to do in order to get people adjusted away from what they're used to, because you're not going to be able to control the world unless you get the world into a single world point of view and single world government. And nobody looks at why was the United Nations established? What are all the G7, the G9, the G22, all those non-government organizations, NGOs, what were they set up for? How about the Federal Reserve? Federal Reserve is not controlled by the United States. Why was that set up in 1915? To be controlled by popular vote, but not by the United States. Although the United States has an 18% vote to be able to veto whether or not other countries get money. But the Federal Reserve, which is our bank, is not American. Jekyll Island, look it up. Jekyll Island.
Future
World Health Organization, World Bank, World Health, IEF, it's all been running in the same direction for the last 100 years, which is how do we get the power out of the United States? Because it's easy to cripple all the other countries. It's quite simple. But they can never get away with breaking the United States, which has always been the last bastion of no, we are the righteous imperialists who bring more good than harm, and you're not going to break us. And when Trump got elected, those folks, go read their articles, read their charters. When Trump got elected, they said, oh no, we didn't pay close enough attention that the populace actually wanted this rogue, crazy bastard in there. and he slipped through. And they their responses were that threw us or put us back 20 years of progress on the one world government. 20 years because of that guy, because he stepped in and said, fuck all you. No, we're not doing this. So the ultimate goal was, as soon as we can get rid of him, if they can't impeach him, and they tried from day one, they can't get him fired in the middle of it because he halted progress, that there would be no way they would allow him to get reelected, and they would force their dude in no matter what, because then they can accelerate the cause. And think about what's happened in 2 years. The cause has been accelerated so much because they know that come midterm elections, they're going to lose their ability to do it quietly. And it's been quiet, which is bizarre because I think it's been really loud. But the reason it feels so extreme is because it is extreme, because they literally are like, we're running out of time. And once the Americans wake up and understand what's happening to them right now and what the end game is, if they decide,
see you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Jeff just got taken out by the New World Order.
And now it's our show. You know what? If you talk bad about Donald Trump, you get kicked off the internet immediately.
Well, no, he was talking good about Donald Trump.
I know. No, I just
how do we go from Dork Squad, Game of Thrones, and Entourage to a New
World
World
Order?
Because
we let Jeff have the fucking reins, and he just went with it. You know,
that's it, man.
If he ever gets me an admin,
that's not Jeff. That's a Jeff clone.
That has never. I could hear you guys the whole time, and everything else shut off.
Sorry.
I saw everything shut off on you, and I was like, "Oh, Jeff just lost his computer."
No, you're not wrong.
That was weird. You know what? That was Trump.
No, it's not weird.
He's after you, man. He knows it.
No, this is not anti-Trump at all.
I'm not saying it's anti. I don't.
Yeah.
He was being facetious.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. Here's the way I'll put it.
How did we get here? You actually brought it up because you didn't realize how much background I have in it.
We're talking pirates, and then pirates went to fucking.
I do, and I'm coming forth and telling you right away, I do not have any grounds to stand on. All I know is in this hand, there's a pile of crap. And in this hand, I get it in the screen, there's a pile of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want?
And
that's the end.
Whichever one smells better.
Yeah.
I think I think that what we lack is forward thought. So if we look at, and I'm not gonna expound much further than that, but if we look at like the lesser of two evils, so to speak, you're gonna get shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you only think in terms of today, then yeah, I think it's fair to say that, what's the lesser of two evils?
Okay. And the way I look at
if you think of a 100-year plan and you then go out 20 years from now and you think, where are we going to be based on which of those two evils we choose? And I think then it becomes a little more daunting. But most people don't think about it like that. They don't think about the repercussions.
Ooh, dead air.
Well, vote for Senator Palpatine.
Yeah, vote for Palpatine.
It's like this.
Someone needs to bring balance to the force.
Number one.
Star Wars is a microcosm. Star Wars is 100% a microcosm example of what's the history of the world and where it's going. Just so you know.
I love every time.
Jeff Adams show, everybody.
I love when Matt, every time he starts to talk, Jeff just boom right into him.
I know.
At the perfect moment.
You get a fucking word in edgewise. Normally, that's what I do to him. But
certain
he's
topics
doing it to me tonight, and I'm like, this is what it feels like. Okay.
Certain topics don't wind me up. It's not a good idea.
This motherfucker had a cup of coffee before the show. I'm pretty sure. Oh, he's gone.
Gone again.
Fantastic. He can still hear us, though.
There's this fucking clone coming back.
I just wrote a song. Fuck Jeff. fuck Jeff. Jeff is being a fucker. Oh,
Why me, dude?
no, not you.
My name's Jeff. My name is Jeff.
What are you doing, step bro?
What you doing, step bro?
Where is he? He's vanished.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Fuck.
Keep myself off the screen. Go ahead.
Talk amongst yourself.
And, you
It'll
know,
help me.
and this is
It'll help me be quieter.
This is exactly what he does, is because he has control, he can play with the buttons and make himself disappear. And we have no control. Maybe you do. I have no control at all. It's gone. So he didn't want to hear anything I had to say.
I'm listening.
He knew. Talk. Oh wow. Oh, I'm on the full screen.
The floor is yours, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look at
I am back. I am back. I am Jeff.
You know what? I actually set an alarm for 1 hour because I told Jeff I can do 1 hour. I wanted to do 30 minutes. I was like, hey, you think we can do 30 minutes? I'd like to cut it off. He's like, well, I have a show going on.
I wait 2 hours.
He's like, how about an hour? And I'm like, okay, I can do an hour. Let's do that. You know, I got home at 4 o'clock last night. I'm in the night before I was on with him until I don't know what, 2:45, 3 o'clock.
Something like that.
Which was my mistake. You know, it wasn't his fault. He just keeps drawing it out of me. So
yeah,
I say let's drop this concept right now.
Good. I'm good with that.
Here and there. Let's talk about boobies and Star Wars.
My favorite topics.
Who the fuck he says he is.
Hey, Star Wars, yeah, go ahead. I'll save my last soundbite for the end of the show.
We doing trivia?
Oh yeah,
Wars
yeah. You mentioned trivia earlier. Let's do that. I'll look stupid. You got
He's
trivia?
this amazing leader, okay, and he has this plans for what is America's going to be.
See, he's playing with his
Why
crap
is he
again.
not telling humans how to prepare for what is coming?
Okay, that doesn't
Why
sound
is he
like
not?
trivia.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you who runs this shit. The lizard people run this shit. And you gotta take the calcium pills and take my new pills, my new vitamins. It's got calcium, it's got algae, it's got chloride, it's got chlorine, it's got acid, everything you need. Take my new pills.
Dude, can you believe he got hit with a $985 million settlement?
I sure do.
He's a journalist. How can you get fucking fined that much for having an opinion?
I believe it.
Trivia, please, so I can go to bed.
$1 billion fine for saying Sandy Hook was a false flag operation. That's crazy.
Trivia, so I can go to bed.
Yeah.
Please.
We can cancel trivia.
No, I want to do it.
We can do sing it or suck it.
Where's Beano? Beano has good ones.
Beano
has funny stuff. Oh,
Does that hat actually fit your head? Because it doesn't look like it. And I'm not trying to be insulting. It's just,
yeah, it's actually, yeah. It's
it
not
seems
snug at
to
all.
ride high though.
If you put it on backwards, you'd be Corey Feldman. Hey, rock and roll. Rock
Is that what he does? He wears his fedora backwards?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I think it's just the up brimmed hat.
Mm.
Kind of looks
It
like
kind of looks cool backwards. I gotta be honest. That's kind of a good look. It's kind of like I was so.
He probably wears one more like this.
yeah. But it's up, all the brim is up.
You know I gotta work it. Oh wait. What do you guys want? You want cocaine and hookers?
Like this?
Thompson, exactly.
Samuel Jackson or my Indiana Jones is over there.
Oh no, don't go cocaine and hookers.
What's that?
Cocaine and hookers.
Oh yeah. All right.
There we go.
Perfect. There it is. There it is. Eehee. Boom. There it is.
How else
Cocaine
can
and
do
hookers.
this job?
All right, I'm going to share the screen for this one.
All right, let's do it.
It's only 10 points. It may be one that we've seen before, but that's just because Jeff and I haven't seen them all. So if it
Yeah.
is, it's okay. You'll be all right. Oh, may the quiz be with you always.
We'll let Matt answer first on every answer on everyone.
Oh,
Yes.
come on.
It's all right. Trust me on this one. We'll find one. This is only 10 questions. Which character speaks first in Star Wars A New Hope? Would that be Obi-Wan Kenobi, Owen Lars, Beru Lars, or C-3PO?
Oh crap. I'm gonna go with C-3PO.
All
Ding,
right.
ding.
What do
Was I
they
right?
say?
Did I get it?
We'll find out at the end.
What
Okay.
do they say? I like how they say they. What do they say? Do they say, we've run out of that delicious blue milk?
No.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
No.
Sorry about the mess. Or, did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor. We'll be destroyed for sure. This is madness.
That's it.
All right. In which film does Han Solo say, never tell me the odds to C-3PO? Would that be Star Wars A New Hope?
Star Wars. New Hope.
The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi,
Star
or The
Wars,
Phantom
New Hope.
Menace? I heard you. I was just finishing the question.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What color is Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber? Green, blue, red, or purple?
It's not green. It's not
These
red.
these aren't the droids you're looking for.
I'm going for blue.
Move along. Move along. Who is this? Would this be Captain Dameron, Captain Phasma, Captain Fett, or Captain Organa?
Can you pull it down so I can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the chick, huh?
Mm.
Oh,
Rin from Game of Thrones.
oh, really?
It
Great.
was.
All right. Okay,
Captain
what-
Phasma, Fett, Organa, or Dameron. She is a captain no matter what.
I'm gonna go with Dameron, even because I have no idea. So I'm
No worries. Number 6. What monster sits in the great pit of Carcoon? Would that be the Sarlacc?
the Sarlacc.
The Sarlacc of the Sarlacc. So spelling, it's a spelling one.
The spelling one.
I'll pick it.
I can't spell, but it is
I
the
got you.
Sarlacc. And
Yes.
and damn you for trying to kill Boba Fett right when he got interesting. And thank you, Disney, for bringing him back.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, he was
Darth
brought
Vader's
back
chest-
in the. He was actually brought back in the novels too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So in the Star Wars universe before Disney took it over, he was brought back too.
Oh yeah, no, I assume. I know they're just,
But they did canonize it, and
yeah, they're looking at the franchise going, oh well, all this is already laid out for us. We're pretty good. So, which here,
Question number 7. On Darth Vader's chest plate, there's a phrase which reads, his deeds will not be forgiven until he merits. In what language is it written? And your options are
ooh, I'm gonna go.
Dathomiri, Huttese, Ancient Hebrew, or Sith.
Boy, I was hoping German was going to be one of them.
Well,
I'm gonna go with Sith. I'm gonna go with Sith.
Okay.
Just because.
In The Rise of Skywalker, how long had Kylo Ren acted as supreme leader of the First Order? Had it been 6 months, 1 year, 2 weeks, or 5 years? How new was he to the job?
2 weeks.
What is Finn's stormtrooper number? Is it FN 1977, FN 2187, FN 1066 or FN 2112?
Oh man, I should know this. I'm going to go with 1977.
And number 10 of 10. What is the name of the character from Rogue One? Of this character from Rogue One, the Star Wars story? Would this
I
be
just said it.
Lyra Urso, Mon Mothma, Jin Urso, or Senator Tinra Pamlo? You're right. You did say it.
Can I get a mulligan?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to phone a friend?
Yeah, I do.
Do it.
It's
What is it?
Jin?
Is it? Are you sure?
Jin Urso.
I'm already looking stupid.
Jin.
Good try. 5 out of 10. We got 5 out of 10. Let's see what we
FN
got wrong.
2187.
Hold on, let's go to the top.
Yeah, can we look at how dumb I am?
So we got C3PO correct. We got
Get the words.
did you hear that? Correct. Star Wars A New Hope is not
The
correct.
Empire
It was
Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
And they're going to
Okay.
the asteroid
Oh
field.
shit!
The chances of surviving an
he's flying
asteroid.
He's flying into the damn
Asteroid
field.
Right.
I should know that. I should know
Look,
that.
that's where you
know
get
what, you know what's confusing is
MRI's done.
that picture.
That picture's from Star Wars. A New
It's from
Hope.
Star Wars, so that's why I went there. And it was not, it's kind of like that line. Well, I got some moves too, and like
That's right.
and then it just kind of goes.
You got the lightsaber. That's Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma. Dameron is Poe's name.
Poe
Boba Fett,
Dameron.
Leia Organa. We did not order that one.
Sarlacc, I believe, was A.
No,
Oh, no, you got it right. You got it right.
Yep,
Two
got it right.
Cs. I would have got that one right.
Actually, Jeff chose
Ancient-
that.
It was
I
ancient
did.
Hebrew. The
Ancient
chest
Hebrew.
plate was in ancient Hebrew.
Yeah, the Odiote is yeah, ancient Hebrew. I didn't even realize there was anything written on that chest plate.
I didn't either, and
So that's kind of cool.
just to try to redeem myself a little bit, and it may not work. Do you guys know what Vader means in German?
Yeah, father.
Father.
Wrong.
Dark father.
Wrong.
Okay.
That's a wives' tale.
That's
We've all
actually not
been-
German.
We've all been sold that bill of goods, and it's not
Dutch.
true.
Okay.
I think at least that's the last thing I heard.
Hi.
So what's the answer? What does it mean?
Right here?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, and it wasn't German. I think it
know
was
it's
Dutch.
not far. It's not far. It's not space that.
Yeah.
I think it was Dutch. So anyways, what's Finn's stormtrooper number? That's
2187.
2187. And then this is Jin Urso.
Jin Urso.
Bino.
Bino.
Can I actually
Peacock
get one
jokes.
right?
Moon jokes.
Said hi, buddy.
5. Yeah, you got 4. Yeah. Dog jokes, spider jokes, cat jokes, ice cream jokes, Chinese food jokes, broccoli jokes, doctor jokes.
Ed Sheeran jokes.
Dad.
Oh,
Dad, you really need to
knock
catch
knock.
up
Who's
to
there?
me.
Noble Radio.
Noble Radio.
Daddy,
That's
you
why I'm
really
knocking.
need to catch up to me.
Doctor. I think I'm a
I
vampire.
am-
I can't cure that. Next, please. Next, please. Doctor. Everyone thinks I'm a liar. I can't believe that. That's
Right.
funny.
Is there a music trivia? Like,
Yeah, it's just music.
Actually, let me rephrase that. Is there a music theory trivia that we could do?
I don't know about music theory, but
So I can feel like I'm a little bit smart.
are you want me to?
Dude, I've been playing Atomic Dork Squad Star Wars stuff with Jeff and Daniel for like I don't know,
Months,
a year and a half.
Year, yes.
And I don't know what the hell they're talking about 99% of the time.
Mhm.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I knew I wasn't going to do good. The 50-50, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Good job.
Like if I showed you my Star Wars collection, You would think I was a way bigger geek than I really am. I mean, I've got everything.
Don't you have a full size like Han Solo and Carbonite?
Yeah, I do, and I've got speeder bikes, and I have a bank one.
Hmm.
Like, let's see, I can't. I don't know if I can bring this down without dropping.
How are you with 60s bands?
All right, 60 Fusion. That's the
Are you any good?
Monkeys.
Is it?
Hey, with the Monkeys. Who wrote the
Hey.
Monkeys material?
No, no, it's not the Monkeys. No,
No?
it can't be.
Oh well, I just
No, there's the Beach Boys. No, maybe the Beach Boys. I think that's the Beach Boys.
Is that the Beach Boys?
Yeah, Pet Sounds for their album.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
And I
Good
recognize
Vibrations.
them.
There it
That's
is.
Brian Wilson. Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Love.
I just figured it was the Monkeys from the TV show.
Well, there's only 3 monkeys.
Danny Nesmith, David Nesmith. What was his name?
Yeah, David Nesmith. Which group scored a number 1 with incredible 1966 pop hit "Good Vibrations"? Was it the Beatless, Simon and Garfunkel, the Beach Boys, or Jaggard and the Tonics?
Well, you already answered that one. So Beach
Beach
Boys.
Boys.
That's the Beach Boys.
Which famous British band sang "I Can't Get No
Satisfaction, baby.
Would that be the Hollies, the Rolling Stones, Alvin and the Human Beings, or
Ooh.
Glenn?
Alvin and the Human
Alvin
Oh, it's
Could be the Chipmunks. It's Alvin and the Human Beings.
and the Human Beings.
Alvin and the Human Beings.
What
That's-
did singer Joni Mitchell say had happened to Paradise?
She didn't get 2 tickets. So let's see.
Would it be they lost it, they paved it and put up a parking lot, they bulldozed
yeah.
it and put up a Nando's, or they shaved it and told it to go get a proper job?
That would be.
They bulldozed it and put up a parking lot or whatever that one was.
They
paved
paved
it and put up a
Paradise
parking
and put up a
lot.
parking lot. Yeah. Which of the following is not the name of a member of the Beatles? John, Paul, George, Fabio.
Oh, I'm going with Paul or John for sure.
I've never heard of John. I don't know who that is.
Fabio. That's
Here we go.
Oh, there you go. There they are.
And I told you.
Who, Mickey
I told you there was
Dolenz,
4 of
there you
them.
go. Who is a 60s band who were too busy singing to put anybody down? Was that the Small Faces, the Monkeys, the Gorillas, or Orangutango and Cash?
Oh, I love the Gorillas.
Yeah,
they were around back in the
because,
60s.
because the Gorillas were around in the 60s, right?
Yeah. Who was the lead singer of the band The Doors? Would that be Jim Henson?
Yes. Jim, Henson.
Jim Morrison.
Are you there?
It was Kermit the Kermit.
Hey-ho.
Kermit the Frog here, or Jim Bergerac.
Hey, let's go into my next song.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Fire. Hey, Kermit. What was the name of the famous? What was the name of the famous Detroit record label that brought us Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, and many, many more? Would that be Joetown,
Uh-huh.
Could be a good question.
Throwtown,
Yep.
Motown, or Showtown?
Nope. All 3 of the other ones, not Motown.
Lawnmower Town.
The Beatles had more number 1s than any other artist of the 60s. How many number 1 hits did they have?
That's a good question.
14, 15, 16, 17.
I think it's a trick question. I'm going to go 14. Keep it low.
I'm gonna go 16 with the same concept. Like
All right.
You
throughout.
want me in the middle?
We'll just pick one and we'll go back and look at it.
We'll go figure it out.
What band's hits included Waterloo Sunset and Sunny Afternoon? That'd be the Dinks, the Kinks, the Blinks, or the Kitchen Sinks?
The Kinks.
The Dinks, the Kinks, the Blinks, or the Kitchen
I'm
Sinks?
going with the Kitchen Sinks just because that's my next band.
That's
I think
perfect.
That's a good choice. Singing legend Aretha Franklin. Dude, did you see how big her boobs were towards when she was old?
Yes.
They were like 18 pounds each.
Yeah,
Singing legend Aretha Franklin was known as
when,
the.
when did when did she become black? I never.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get the memo on that.
My kids didn't. My kids didn't know Frank Sinatra was white.
Shit.
Ouch.
And I just heard about that recently, and I'm a huge Sinatra fan, and it's because I have an album of his, That's Life, framed, him in a Kavanaugh hat, and I guess the pigmentation in the picture is darker, and they assumed he was black. And this literally came up in the last 6 months.
Picture?
They're like, no, it's not. It's colorized.
Were they looking at Sammy Davis Jr.?
No, they were literally looking at the cover of his.
Sinatra has a glass eye.
Yeah,
that's why.
Album. So I have this album framed. My mother gave it to me. Actually, look, someone else has it framed too. $21. They just said, they were just like,
hey, my birthday's in May, dude.
Well, right on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can see that. Yeah.
I can. Yeah. Now that I
like,
look at it, I'm kind of like.
They're like, we thought Frank was black. I said, he's Italian, like
Mexican.
I don't know.
Look at those teeth, though. Those are the teeth that white people buy now.
Right, and he had that naturally.
He smoked like a chimney.
No way. There's no.
There were no
way
braces back in 1913 when he was born. That's wild, right?
Yeah,
that's cool. I love it though. I introduced them to what a record was because I took this out of the case and played it for them, and they were like, "What is this?"
Miss Billy Fritsch.
Back in the day, dude, I had my mom's old albums. She's got her name on them too. I'm like, that's wild. In case you lent it to your friends, you want to make sure it came back to you.
So on
That's Life.
On Netflix.
That's what all the people say.
On Netflix, you know, all the Oceans movies are available.
The old ones?
No.
There was only one old one. The 4 new ones.
Yeah. But I love the part where it's kind of like you shook Sinatra's hand. And it's like this thing, like, you know, if you shook Sinatra's hand, then there's a code. And it wasn't being represented at that point. And
what do you mean? What's the code?
Well, it was just handshake agreements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your word is your bond.
Yep, word is bond.
Word is bond. I shook Sinatra's hand. You shook Sinatra's hand. So we're solid, right?
Right.
And in that movie, I'm trying to think of I should know his name. It's not De Niro. It's second names.
Elliot Gould?
No. Scarface.
Pacino. Pacino?
Yes. Al
Pacino.
Yeah. And like at one point in the movie, it's just like, fuck Sinatra. And the other guy's like, what? And of course it's a whole vengeance against this guy, you know, where they basically destroy his whole entire world just because he didn't live up to the code.
That's right.
Yep. So anyway, continue. Aretha Franklin, known as
the Duchess of York.
Queen of Hearts, Queen of Soul, Duchess of Kent, or King of Anglia?
Queen of Soul.
Queen of Soul. Totally random question. No thanks. Who scored a big hit in 1968 with his sublime covered version of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower?
Greatest guitarist, I think.
What doo-wop band had a #1 hit with Blue Moon 1961? That'd be the Penguins, the Marcells, Dion and the Belmonts, or Danny Dyer and the Dying Light.
I actually don't know this one.
I think it's the Penguins, yeah.
I honestly don't know. I'm at a
The
loss.
Penguins had like Earth Angel.
Yeah, did they have Blue Moon too?
Maybe. But Dion and the Belmonts are legit too. Dion DiMucci.
Yeah, this is actually a tough one.
I'm gonna say the Penguins.
Could be wrong.
Find out later.
You really think it's Dion? I see the steam coming out your head right now.
Yeah.
Go with Dion.
I took the history of rock and roll in
Too late.
college,
Go with Dion.
and
Because
I think it was
penguins
Dion
did
that
have Earth Angel.
I don't even know who
Earth
I don't know who the
Angel,
penguins
Earth
are, so
Angel,
I think that's not right.
will you be mine,
Yeah.
my darling dear? Love you all the time.
This one's the answer to this one's Vaseline.
What is the name of the band that included members Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton, and Ginger Baker? Would that be paste, ointment, lotion, or cream? That's a great
band
setup. Holy shit. Sid Barrett. Oh, there's Sid. Was the lead singer and main songwriter of which group? Would that be Top Loader, Herman's Hermits, Deep Purple, or Pink Floyd?
I actually don't know this one either. That's a.
I do. Jeff.
I like being stumped. I'm gonna say Deep Purple.
Okay. Jeff, what you guess?
I was thinking Herman's Hermits.
Yeah.
I'm in every I am in every I am. I'm getting married to the widow next door. She's been married 7 times before, and everyone was an NRE. Sorry, that's Hermits.
Oh, is it? I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm wrong. Was it Deep Purple?
It's Pink Floyd.
Is it?
No way.
Yep. He was the founder. Roger Waters and David Gilmour took over alternate as leads when he went off the deep end with schizophrenia.
Sounds like I need education.
Exacerbated by psychedelics.
The
whole album "Wish You Were Here"
Education.
"Wish You Were Here" was amazing. It was their big studio album that they were obligated to do, even though Sid was no longer capable of performing, writing, even existing in society. And they were bound by contract to make that album, and they did not want to do it. They wanted to quit. But they said, you're going to lose everything if you don't do it. So the album consisted of the song "Wish You Were Here," which is obviously about Sid.
Yeah.
"Shine On You Crazy Diamond," part 1 through 10, which takes up 20, like, out of what is it, 48, whatever. Basically, it's like 2/3 of the album.
Jesus.
One song. They were obligated to do an LP, which was like 48 minutes long. And since they couldn't get out of the contract, their fuck you was
one song, part 1 through 10.
One giant song on each side of the album that took up the majority of the album. And then they had "Wish You Were Here," "Welcome to the Machine," "Have a Cigar," which is all about fuck you to the industry. Welcome
to the machine.
Yeah.
I know that song.
So, stuck in the machine of producing for these assholes. "Have a Cigar," you'll go real far. It's the asshole agents glad handing them and slapping them on the back and being like, yeah, this is gonna be great. So they were like, all right, well, here's your album, go fuck yourself. That album did extremely well in spite of them, and they wouldn't have done The Wall in the 80s, and they wouldn't have done Dark Side of the Moon, which stayed top 100 for like 35 years. And those albums would never have made it if they didn't do the "Fuck You" album, which did really, really well.
You know, not to get too far off subject here, but the reason that Tool vanished for so many years,
Maynard.
No, it was just to wait out the contract.
Oh, really?
They signed a crappy ass deal, and that's why they came up with other bands.
Pussifer or A Perfect Circle?
Perfect Circle.
Yeah.
Both of them, yeah. And
then once the contract ran out, that's when they went back and started
get back together.
You know, put out their own album, did their thing, and now they do their tours with all their laser lights and all that shit. I mean, I saw them at Soma like 3 times.
Interesting.
Which, you guys know what Soma was.
It
wasn't much. There were no laser lights. So anyway, continue.
Excellent.
If you want to get Pink Floyd lore, I would love to do like a 2-hour show and play the music and break it down, because it's what got me to appreciate them even more.
I would love it.
In the last like dozen years, probably. I was like, oh my God, the story is amazing. And then when you listen to the lyrics, you know exactly what was going on in that time.
I would be down for that. And there's a guy here in town who is just a phenomenal guitar player. And he has, and not to go off on a guitar rampage or anything like that, but his vibrato is so perfect. It's reminiscent of Pink Floyd. I mean, it's just, people don't know what
they played 12 string.
They just love what it sounds like, which that's all they should do. You know, it's
right.
Cool. But
what's it called when you what's that gadget that they use for with them blowing air through it?
Didgeridoo?
Vox,
it's to alter the guitar sound.
Talk box.
It's called what?
Talk box.
Is that it? I don't know. David Gilmour used it, so he did he used the 12 string, and then
what you do is you verbalize the notes, you sing it into it. They're a pain in the ass to hook up, and almost nobody uses them anymore because they are a pain in the ass. Should just be a talk box.
Talk box. Be My Baby was a hit in 1964 for what girl group? Be my
little baby. Suck
Dixie Cups, the Shirelles, the Ronettes, or the Chiffons?
Boy, I suck at this.
I think the Ronettes and the Shirelles were the Wall of Sound guy.
It's not the Dixie
Chiffons.
Chiffons. The crazy guy who shot his girlfriend and was on trial.
There's been a few of them.
Yeah,
with the Ronettes.
I think it was the Ronettes. Phil Spector.
Phil Spector.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was singer Janis Joplin's middle name? Was it Lynn, Beth, Jean, or Ann?
I think it was
Janice, Janice Jean, Janice Ann, Janice Beth, Janice Lynn.
Janice Lynn.
I don't know because she never screamed out all of her names.
Yeah. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends.
Oh, Dolly. That's a Dolly question.
What was the name of the Dolly Parton's 1967 debut album? Was it Hello, I Must Be Going? Hello, I'm Dolly. Dolly Off for Trolley, or Into the Wu-Tang?
Oh, yes. 36 Chambers. That's it.
Into the Wu-Tang. I'm just going with that. If you say Wu-Tang, I'm down.
I think it's Hello, I'm Dolly, I think.
I think Old Dirty Bouncer was on that cut, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Dolly and ODB.
What 60s hit begins with the line?
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Oh God.
What 60s hits begins with the line, all the leaves are brown?
That would be
Monday.
Monday.
Was it California
Dreamin'?
California Dreamin', California Steamin', or California Scheming?
I think it was that song on the Forrest Gump movie.
California Scheming.
They call it Monday?
On such a winter's day. California Steamin'. I don't think that's it.
California Scheming.
Number 19. Hey, I have this microphone.
We know this one.
Soul and R&B singer Benny King topped the charts in 1961 with what classic ballad? Would that be Stand By Me, Stand By Him, Stand By the Bins, or Stand By to Deploy Missiles?
They didn't even give us a shot at it. It's Stand By Me.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't give you a shot?
No, they didn't. I mean, the other answers are stupid.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's the case.
Sometimes
they're all ridiculous.
On the ones that I know, make it a little harder. On the ones I don't know, make it a little easier.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want.
All the leaves are brown and you're steaming gay. Out there for a walk
in the sky
on a shitty day.
Are we pulling out microphones? I went for a walk.
What famous festival was held August 15th to the 18th, 1969 on a dairy farm in Bethel, New York? Would that be Glastonbury, Woodstock, Waynestock, or Beef Stock?
Ooh, I like
Beef
beef
stock.
stock.
I'm going with beef stock.
It's a good one. Wayne's World.
Oh,
Let's see what we got.
it flipped me back to the top.
I
Did
guess
I
we're
not
done.
answer everything?
I think you missed one.
The pay paradise and put up a parking lot. Do.
I think there was one that we skipped.
Queen of Soul,
We got that one.
Jimi Hendrix,
We got
the
this one.
Penguins, Cream,
I think it was the chiffons.
Pink Floyd, the Ronettes. We answered.
Dang
Oh,
it.
we did answer it. Okay.
Put it together, man.
Janice Lynn, Hello, I'm Dolly,
You're supposed to
California
learn this
Steamin'. Stand by Me.
Oh, stand by me. That was it.
Your score 18 out of 20. Not bad.
All right. What did we miss?
stuff. Yeah, let's find out what we didn't know.
I bet we missed.
Poop.
It's the Shirelles and it's Dion and the Belmonts. That's my guess.
Well, you changed it though, right?
Wait.
No, they wouldn't let you once you selected it. So the Rolling Stones, I can't get no satisfaction. They paved Paradise, put up a parking lot, correct. Fabio is not one of the Beatles. The Monkees is the band. Jim Morrison is the singer, not Jim Henson, but Motown was the records. 14. 17 was the total hits, not 14.
Go figure.
The Kinks is
Well,
correct.
that's
Queen of Soul for Miss Boobies. Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower. The Marcells did Blue Moon.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. All right. That's
There you go. That's the two. We got Cream, we've got Pink Floyd, we've got the Ronettes, we've got Lynn as a middle name. That's a good guess. Hello, I'm Dolly. Good guess. California Dreamin'. We knew that. Stand by Me was the song, and Woodstock in New York. So yeah,
pretty good.
Awesome. We did pretty good. I
Can
think it's
we-
time we wrap up the.
Can we retake it and get a perfect score?
No, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like your
Hold on,
theory
buddy, we're
on
done.
politics and voting. It doesn't matter. So
I do have to go to bed.
Yep.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
my son to
including
bed.
me. I enjoyed our time. But,
likewise, Jeff. Hold on for a second. He's gonna escape. But
All right.
Matthew, go ahead. You may escape.
Bye, Matt.
I don't want to. Love you, buddy.
Love you, man.
You guys
Love
be
each
good.
other.
We got some work to do. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Be well. And then before I tell everybody to love one another and love yourselves and whatnot, and so as not to stress anybody out with, I'm totally happy to stress people out. Don't get me wrong.
No, we enjoy it.
Not to stress out my buddy Matthew with responding to the things that he said. I'm like, gotta be careful. There's certain topics you don't want to bring up unless you want to hear about them. I don't know about this, but I heard something. Well, I do. I improve it. Dumbass keeps asking questions. I go like I want to know the foundation of all this. Like, who started the room? Like, who came up with this progressive stuff? Where did what playbook are they running off of? Like, somebody has to have created it. I want to find the original source documents. Well, I've been finding them, and doesn't make me happy. So I'm not going to go.
We're going to turn to the same sort of warlord type shit.
So this is Andy Frisella. Andy Frisella, he owns a company called First Form, and he does supplements and workout stuff. He came up with a program called 75 Hard, and it says 75 days to change you into a freaking man.
Oh, I like
basically it. 75 days, and it gives you like 5 things that you have to do. Like, you have to read every day, you have to do cardio twice a day, you have to lift heavy objects once a day, you have to eat cleanly, and then there's basically 5 and you have to take a picture of yourself. You
Every
have to
day.
do those 5 things every day. And if you miss one of those things on any day, you start over. So you got to track your progress. You got to read. You got to educate yourself on something. You got to do cardio twice, lift heavy objects, then photograph your progress. Right. So there you go. I know a bunch of people who've done it, and like the transformation is remarkable. Like there's no way that you can't transform yourself, even if you just go walking twice a day, read a book, take a picture. But his theory is, or his understanding is, if you want to change the world, you got to change yourself first.
Yeah.
It's like what everybody else says, like Jordan Peterson, like clean up your room. If you can't keep your room clean and you can't keep that or organized and orderly, how the hell do you think you're going to change anything outside of that? Like all these people with messy rooms are also out there telling you the right thing for American culture and society. He's like, just handle your shit. You'll be a better person. That'll make the world a better place because you're a better person.
Exactly.
Go basic. So he's had a couple of podcast runs. One is one of the most successful business podcasts that's ever been out there. Is called the MF CEO Project.
Yes.
So he curses a lot, but that's why it's called MF CEO.
I like it.
So he's just motherfucker, like he's in your face. He's aggressive and he's loud. I was introduced him about 9 months ago, I think.
Yes.
And a buddy of mine who had not been involved in caring about anything that was going around him in the world, who was ex-military, and he even told me, he's like, I feel crazy that I'm a retired first sergeant of the Army, and I have been so detached from what's going on in America and the world in general, that I just wanted to ignore it all. And he goes, and then I met Andy Frisella, and I started listening to his podcast, and he just speaks some truths that are shocking. And he goes, and I think of all the stuff that you talk about, and he goes, like, you want to talk about it? And he goes, I don't force it on everybody, but if somebody wants to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Or you bring it up on a podcast, you're screwed because it's my format.
Yeah.
But he's like, I think about those things that you've been talking to me about in pieces over the last couple of years. He goes, and I heard him, and it sounds like he is summarizing all the things that you've already understood are what's going on in the world. And it's like, he goes, all of a sudden I'm getting involved. I'm like, this is not good. Like, this seems like there's a plan for things to not go well.
Yeah.
So we just listen to a couple minutes of Andy talking about how he sees things as they are and what he worries about.
Where we are going to be going door to door and taking motherfucker supplies. That's what deserves right now.
Okay,
to the low, isn't even a guarantee that we're going to, or that they care that you're suffering right now. Being able to train without too much pain right now, feeling good.
Okay.
Got all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Just trying to stack these wins, man.
No, that's real.
Still dealing with a little bit of withdrawal from this detoxification process of getting off those antidepressants I've been talking about. But outside of that, man, I mean, everything's good. If the world wasn't a fucking shithole, I'd probably feel a little bit better. I think a lot of people are feeling stressed and anxious and frustrated right now.
Yeah.
These people in government and in politics and in fucking media, like, the biggest mistake you guys can make is to think that they actually care about you or that they care that you're suffering right now. And the second biggest mistake that you can make is to not vote to get all of these crazy fucking far left dumb fucks out of our government coming up here in November. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if we lose that election. And I say we, I mean the people. Like, you guys who are Democrats, you're going to have to vote red this time. I know that fucking burns your soul. But if you want your kids to have any semblance or opportunity of a fucking future, you're going to have to. You're going to have to. And that's a realization that a lot of people don't understand. And then all of these people waiting around for the red wave, you fuckers are going to have to fucking actually get off your fucking asses and go vote and not let everybody else go vote. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if we lose this election. and it's going to scare the fuck out of you. And I would like, before I even go through what is going to happen if we lose, for you to understand that I haven't missed on a single point this entire last 3 years. Okay. Not one. All right. Now, if that election is lost, the only hope we have is possibly potentially getting the Senate and the House back on track. That's it. That isn't even a guarantee that we're going to be able to fix it.
No.
It's just a potential that it can be
it's a
fixed.
necessary step.
If we don't fucking get those people in, the country is gone forever. And you people who don't understand that and you think that's just panic or that's just alarmism or whatever you think it is, understand that I put hours and hours and hours of research into what's going on. And I also happen to be pretty good with seeing and reading the play coming down the pipe. That's why I'm successful in business.
Right.
Okay. I don't say that to brag. I'm just telling you, I can see the shit. And with what's happening with the situation with gas prices, Biden is strategically or intentionally lowering our strategic oil reserves right now to the lowest level ever in the United States history. And that might not mean much to you, but let me tell you why he's doing it.
It's about to.
What? That's right. He's doing it so that gas prices aren't $15 right now. Okay. Because they know that they would lose the election with that. So a lot of you people are like being like, oh, let's thank Biden for gas prices coming. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Vote for him and watch what's going to happen afterwards, because there's no strategic oil reserves. That means, and by the way, we're trying to get oil relief from Venezuela, a fucking communist country.
Exactly. Let's pump millions over there, though.
Let me ask you this. Does communist countries do business with free countries?
No.
Okay, so why are they doing business with the United States? The answer should be obvious to you, that we are in communist control right now. And that is a fucking fact. Okay? The situation at hand is dire. And the solution is simple. We can pump and produce our own natural gas and oil right here in this country.
And gas, 25 cents a gallon.
It would be. It would be 25 fucking cents. They don't want it that. No. They don't want it. They don't want dollar gas. They don't want $1.87 gas like it was when Trump was fucking in office. Mm-hmm. They don't want that. They want you to feel pain. They want you to suffer. They want you to lose your job and lose your career. And let me explain to you how this is going to happen if we lose that election. This is fucking reality. Okay? If the Democrats and these fucking far left dumb fucks like the Fetterman dude and these other dudes that you guys are like somehow thinking should go to Senate, understand. And by the way, Warnock and fucking Georgia. Mm-hmm. Okay. What you guys don't understand is that, and I've been trying to tell you this for 3 fucking years. This is an intentional play. They have no intention of stopping the pain. Okay. And what will happen after the election if you don't vote for the right fucking people and you don't get all your friends and family to vote and you don't make it a point to drive people to vote and do this shit that we really need to have happen? What will happen is gas will be $20 to $30 a gallon across the country. Millions of businesses will close in one single day. You guys, how could that happen in a day? Well, remember when they shut the country down in one day? Remember how fast that happened? It'll be like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Millions of people will become unemployed instantly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Food will not be able to be distributed because gas is so expensive. Supplies will not be able to be distributed. There will be a run on supplies, a run on food, and a run on banks. The banks won't be able to give people their money. That will create mass chaos and hyperinflation. When that happens, there will also be, intentionally, by the way, rolling blackouts and possible long-term power shortage. Mm-hmm. When that happens, okay, civil chaos will result.
Yeah.
People, the bad people will come out first, and they will start fucking doing whatever they feel like doing. And if you're in your nice, fancy, cozy home right now and you're listening to this and you think you're going to ride this motherfucker out, you're wrong. Because in those situations, bad people just take what they want. And you're not prepared for that. I'm prepared for that. You're not. Very few of us are. Okay. When that starts to happen, okay, we're going to have mass chaos. Then when good people start to not be able to eat and they can't feed their families, they are going to turn to the same sort of warlord type shit where we are going to be going door to door and taking motherfucker supplies. That's what's going to happen.
That's what happens in these times. Bro.
That's what happens. Now, during this time, we will be the most vulnerable that we have ever been in the history of the United States. And this is the mistake that most of you are making. You think that nobody can take this country over, that nobody can invade this country. Do you really think that China hasn't been planning this exact situation for many, 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 many decades? We will be the weakest we have ever been. We will be the most desperate we have ever been. We will not be able to defend ourselves, and we will lose this fucking country. So maybe think about that before you just go post your next bullshit TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe think about that before you go on a rant about some shit that doesn't fucking matter. And maybe you should pay attention because we are literally a hair away from all the things that I've been saying were going to happen, happening at a very fast rate. And I don't say that shit to scare you. I say that because that's what I see. That's what I see. And if you've been listening to the show for the last 3 years, like I said, the only thing I fucking missed on, there's one thing I missed on. I thought Trump would arrest these people before they actually inaugurated Biden, and he didn't. And I have my issues with Trump too. Let me ask you this, and why is nobody asking this question? If Trump is who the fuck he says he is, and he's this amazing leader, okay, and he has this plans for what America's going to be, all right, why is he not telling humans how to prepare for what is coming
and what's needed? Yeah.
Why is he not telling people, hey, you guys should be organizing this, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that? That's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's going around rallying, talking about the brightest American future ever. And it could be if we stop this. But unless he has some secret plan, like there's a certain segment of the population that thinks he does, unless that's true and he actually does, I don't see us pulling out of it.
No. Or at least him leading that.
No. And people who just literally ride the dude's fucking jockstrap about how great of a leader he is, maybe ask yourself, why is he offering no direction? Why is he telling us, why is he not giving us some things to do? Wouldn't that be what you would do? Because I could tell you this, bro. If I was in Mar-a-Lago every fucking day and I'm sitting there watching this shit going on, now, unless I know some shit that you know, maybe he's privy to information we don't know. Okay? But we're getting to the time where we need to fucking know. And we need to know what to do. And I can tell you this, if I was leading that movement that he has made, I would be telling people what the fuck to do right now.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is super dangerous. It could get out of hand real quick. And our only chance of possibly stopping it from happening is to vote all these fucking leftists out. All of them. All of them. Across the board. It doesn't matter if somebody was a bad fucking dad. It doesn't matter if somebody had a scandal. It doesn't matter if someone fucking, bro, we need people to do the fucking job. And that is getting lost in culture right now. So until everybody realizes what I'm saying, which they won't. But until they do, and they figure out that they have to get together and people have to unite and people have to push forward and people have to resist together. Not left, right, not black, white, not gay, straight, motherfucking Americans, like I've been saying for almost 10 motherfucking years on the fucking air. Until that happens, we will continue to slide down this fucking shithole path that we're on. The long-term solutions: raise your personal standards, become the example, okay? Become fit, become healthy, become educated, become wealthy. Those are the long-term solutions, okay? Raise your kids right, educate your kids, vote these crazy fucks out of schools. Let's get a real education system going. Nobody even talks about the correction that has to happen in the education from the 12 to 20-year-old age of people. They've already been indoctrinated. So you parents who have kids that fall into that group, you should start looking for alternative solutions to teach them how to really win at life and how to really fucking succeed at life. Until all of these things start to happen and people get off their fat fucking lazy asses and start working hard and start uniting together, we are going to fucking lose. So sorry for the doom and gloom to start off the episode, but it's that urgent.
Oh, it is.
And within 6 months, you could be, all of you, every single person here listening, none of you are immune. I'm not immune. Because if the world goes the way that I just said, we're all going down. Every motherfucking one of us. And by the way, that's what the fuck they want. That's what they want. Because then they can come in out of the chaos. And if you listen to Klaus Schwab and their fucking plan, and they can introduce a whole new system. And that's what they're trying to do. So until you
and we'll be begging for it.
Listen, motherfuckers, until you fucking get up and fucking resist and get off your fucking knees right now, you are sacrificing your entire fucking future, your kids' entire future, and your kids' kids' entire future. And you will be a member of the generation that lost America. So maybe think about it. Yeah, well, that's reality. People don't like reality. Someone's got to say it. You know, we have all these conservative grifters that all they do is fucking say their shit and sell their fucking shirt and sell this and sell that and sell this. They don't give a fuck. They got popular during this time.
Mm-hmm.
They built a brand during this time. This is their livelihood. Motherfucker, this ain't my livelihood. I fucking care about this shit. And I'm giving you my honest assessment from where I see things. Now, I said, there might be some things I don't know. Maybe there is a plan. I don't think there is. And I think if there was, and I was a genuine leader of America who wasn't in office, I would be giving the plays of what to do, just like I've been giving you the plays for the last 2 years of things that you should be doing. Shouldn't a leader be doing that?
You would think.
Even if they don't have the official title? Yeah. Isn't that what should be happening?
Isn't that what he created this whole truth social shit for?
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, it's an important question to ask.
Yeah.
Why isn't that happening?
Be careful, DJ.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Bro, we're waiting ourselves into fucking slavery. I would like some motherfucking answers. People don't get it, dude. You guys aren't prepared. You think a lot of you guys don't have the perspective of any real ups and downs in this country. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it looks like. And I'm telling you, this ain't it. This is the end. The fucking end. If you guys don't fucking vote those people out by a landslide. Okay, because they've got the ability to fudge. Every single person knows that.
It's crazy times, man.
It's you know what? It could have all been avoided. You guys obey people like blindly, like fucking these people that come on the news and say this shit. These people hate you. So you men in your communities, you need to man the fuck up, dude. You need to start fucking figuring out a plan with your fucking neighbors and your friends and your fucking family, because this shit has the potential to go real bad, real fast. Everybody thinks it can't happen. And when it does happen, everybody who thinks it couldn't happen gets killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're still in shock that it's fucking happening. It's usually how it goes.
It's very frustrating for me to sit here for the last 3 years and call out play by play by play, and to have people just sit there and look at me like I'm a fucking idiot. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to consider that the people who have been warning you about all of this shit the whole time actually know a little bit more than you.
Seen a little bit more. Experienced a little bit more.
Even the influencers and shit, bro, they don't understand what's happening. They don't understand. They don't understand. I'm talking about these conservative influencers with these fucking organizations and shit. They don't understand what's happening, and they're not prepared for it.
All right.
Damn.
Listen to I've been listening for a while, and that is, I mean, he doesn't talk like doom and gloom like that succinctly ever. But it's like he'll talk about like, they're taking your country away from you, like all these things. Yes, it's true. Like what they tell you and what you see is not reality.
They live.
When you see that there is a chink in the, when you see there's a disturbance in the force and you can feel it, it's because it's there.
There is one.
It's because it's there, and it's not until all of the individual voices cry out that you're going to actually be able to tear that down. So this was kind of I didn't hear this one live. This was last Tuesday. He was on another show and he's like, whoa, can't believe we're still doing this. He's like, I went kind of hard on Tuesday, didn't I? He was like, yeah, kind of. He's like, I see it.
Waking people up.
He doesn't have kids. He was not even a registered Republican. He didn't vote for Trump. He's been this guy. He's been this kind of like, hey, everybody love everybody and don't worry about it. Capitalism is great. Make money. Fuck your wife, whatever. And then as it just compiled over time, he's like, dude, guys,
wake up.
I don't even have kids, but look what they're doing to yours. They're indoctrinating them. How can you let that happen? Like, there's something wrong. Yeah. So I heard him refer to this show, so I went back, I think, on Friday, and I was like, oh, that was very specific.
Yeah.
So if you think about anything in the entertainment industry that comes out is part of the the military industrial complex. Think of the big networks, think of the shows that they put out. It's always been about, it's never been about the television show. It's always been about selling the soap, right?
Yep.
Everything is soap operas, right? It's always been about Colgate, Musical Hour. It's always about selling products. It's always about commercialism. They put on the show to give you something that you can relate to, or give you a reason that you would hang out and wait for being told what the next thing to purchase is.
Yeah.
And you think of the big conglomerates like NBC and ABC and CBS, and who are they owned by, and how huge are those organizations, and how long have they been there?
Yeah.
So what are they going to put on primetime for you to watch? What are they going to release? Think back to when zombie culture became a part of American culture.
Yeah.
What does that represent? It literally represents
the downfall, the destruction of America.
Destruction of America. It paints a picture that, like, you can make it. You can be heroic during these times. You can survive. But it's going to be bad, and it's going to be dark. And then how many other shows did they have that took place in a dystopian society when everything had failed? A big electromagnetic pulse took out all of your electronics, and now you were back in the Stone Age.
Yep.
Why would they spend a decade making that the thing that we wanted to watch?
Right.
Introducing us to that as being normal.
You're right.
Even the what's it called? The A Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah.
Think of that.
No, it's true.
It's about how about Hunger Games? How about all of those things that have been so huge in pop culture?
Yeah.
What makes it huge? Well, put it out there and let the kids watch it. Let the kids tell you about it. Let it be normal for the kids to understand that this is how things are going to turn out.
Yeah.
When's the last time there's been just a pro-America movie that's been put out? That's been like America, fuck yeah. Like
Team America,
World
Police. Yeah.
When's the last time you've seen anything that's been pro-America?
Been a while, bro.
Maybe American Sniper, but even then it was more about Chris Kyle and not really about America.
It wasn't about America. Yeah, it wasn't more about America. It was about
right.
Yeah.
Like Why are we watching TV shows where your main character was held captive in Iraq and flipped to the other side? What was that? Is Claire Danes? What was that show that Claire Danes did? But it's like she falls in love with this guy who was in Iraq, and then he converted to Islam, and you think, well, that he was a prisoner of war. It happens. But then he's a main character in the show, and he comes back, and you're like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Why is the CIA all suspicious about this guy? And then, of course, you find out that no, he hated America, and he flipped, and he came back wanting to destroy America, not be an American hero. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Like it's just been anti-America. Everything has been anti-America. Even the Avengers. It's not about America. It's about something bigger than America, and it's about the darkness that is like the darkness, which is like what drove Nazi Germany. But it's not a pro-America movie.
No. Yeah.
It's like a pro-international movie.
Yeah, it's pro-world. Yeah.
Pro-world. The Avengers are of the world. They're not of America. They're not of America. Even though you have Captain America, it's not outside of that character. It's not about America prevailing. It's about the world prevailing over the darkness. Like, shit. You slowly take that out of the culture. It doesn't take long.
Nope.
For something else it doesn't take long for your society and your public to become ambivalent, which is all the best you can get from them. Is you want them to be like, and so many people are like, I'm like, what? Like the progressives want to kill you if you don't take your vax. Like, you understand, like they want to perpetrate violence on you if you don't take your vaccine. Remember, like, yeah, no, it's for you to be safe. You're like, I'm not doing it. Well, I hope you die, motherfucker. You're like, whoa, that's brutal. When were you allowed to agree to disagree? Now it's like, if you disagree with me, I want you dead. Like, why are we so polarized against each other based on ideology? It's because they've taken the borders down and made it not important anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not standing shoulder to shoulder as brothers to fight against the tyranny of the invaders. It's like we're against each other. So if we're against each other and the invaders come, well, what if the invaders are the ones who are like the ones who perpetrated the wokeism ideas anyways? And then suddenly half of your group says, yeah, we knew it. We're on the side of the invaders, so we're okay. We just have to kill the conservative folk who are still remember that America was something that worth fighting for. And how else do you take over a country?
Have it destroy itself.
A house divided upon itself cannot stand, right? So divide the house in half, and then when you're ready to swoop in, you've got half of them on your side, and they got no problem killing the other half. Yay!
Hooray!
Pro-America.
Woo! Fuck yeah!
Scary stuff, man. Well, maybe it's all bullshit. I hope it is.
Me too.
I can't tell you any of it's 100% true, but I'll tell you this: I will vote. I will.
No incumbent conservative.
No incumbent conservative. They don't need any more money. If you haven't heard bad things, then let them stay, and otherwise throw the conservative folk in there. But if you're not, if you're a traditional liberal or classic liberal, or you're a registered Democrat, I would look at, and no one wants to do this. Nope. Look at the voting record of your people, and look what they vote for and what they don't vote for. If you have Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin in there, they're not conservative folk. They're not blindly progressive, though. Not blindly so.
Right.
There's accountability and facts that have to be presented in order to get them to budge.
Yeah.
So it's very easy. You can go on to uscongress.gov. You can look at your person's platform, and if you have questions, I've emailed Congress people, senators, and said, "Hey, can you remind me what's your stance on this?" And they'll
email back.
Their staffers will email you back. It's not them, but they say it's them.
Right.
But they'll email you back and be like, "Here's my platform. Here's what I believe," and I'll say, "Look, this is important to me, and as your constituent, I would like it that you would remember this." And they'll respond back and be like, "Thank you." Like, you have to remind people just what the job and obligation is.
That's true.
There's nothing wrong with doing that. You think you don't have a voice because you vote or don't vote for them every 2 to 4 years, and they just disappear. No, you have contacts. You have a connection with them. They will listen to you. They will call you. I promise you. If you tell them that you need to talk to them and you're not crazy and you have some dialogue, don't think you can't get a phone call from your senator or your congressman if they don't think that you're worth talking to.
Government for the people, of the people, by the people.
That's right. Just they forget. Sometimes they just forget. I don't think most politicians get into the job because they don't want to do good things. I think they are altruistic. I think they get into it because they want to do good things.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that we all could easily get naturally corrupted by an environment that you walk into as the new guy, and they're like, "Look, this is actually how this works." And it's hard. You're gonna get. You want to join the team, and you're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like Tulsi Gabbard, and then she's like, "Wow, there's nothing to accomplish because they've all established their own crap." It's like being in high school, she said. They're like, "We don't talk to you because you talk to a Republican, so we're not talking to you." She's like,
Good
"What?
Lord. Good Lord.
What, are you crazy?"
That is nuts.
Don't give them more credit than they deserve.
Yeah.
And honestly, don't lie. What did it say? What did Jordan Peterson say? Try to tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Yeah.
So if somebody asks you your opinion, try to tell the truth, or at least don't lie. There's nothing wrong with saying, "I think this whole thing is crazy."
There's nothing
It's
wrong with
crazy.
it.
I think we give way too much power and authority over to 1% of the population, less than 1.1% of the population. I don't see any trans rallies, and I don't see any hate rallies happening anywhere. I never have. I don't see the KKK posted outside of trans people's houses, talking shit. I've not seen any of that by proof in 25 years, 30 years. I've not seen it. So I have to assume that it's made up.
Yeah.
I have to assume. So people are like, "Whoa, what do you think? Are you trans? Are you a transphobe?" I'm like, "No, I'm trans tired. I'm trans exhausted. I don't want to fucking hear about it anymore." And I've got a daughter who thinks she's trans. It's all right. We'll get her inpatient care. We'll get her taken care of. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, and you might be bipolar schizophrenic too. Strange. You think there's a connection, people? Do you know what the prevalence of major mood disorders like that, like schizophrenia, is about 1% of the population. Bipolar is about like 1%, 1.5% of the population.
Yeah.
And then trans has always been about what? It's actually been about 0.4% of the population. But if you rounded it up to count everybody who's had some sort of dysphoria, it's about 1.5% of the population. So do you think there's any correlation between rates of schizophrenia, rates of bipolar, and then rates of dysphoria have all been about the same across the population? You don't think those are connected?
Oh yeah.
And then suddenly it's 18% of the population is trans. What? Good night. No.
It includes them. Yeah.
Good night. No. And I tell my daughter, I say, listen, coming from your conservative father, I love you, no matter how crazy you are. But I'm afraid for you. I'm afraid that I can't protect you in a way that you need to be protected. And I'm gonna have to ask you maybe to meet me halfway with some things. You don't have to wave the flag. You don't have to wave the flag all day, every day. You don't have to. You don't have to wear a shirt, and you don't have to yell names, and you don't have to spend an inordinate amount of energy being the loudest person in your environment to talk about something that nobody cares about.
Right.
I said, you draw attention to yourself. I said, now you get to be who you are. And when you become an adult, we'll look at whatever we need to do in order to make you wholly you. As a teenage kid with some, mental challenges, and whatever, we're not gonna come to a conclusion that this thing is going to be the solution to the other things, because it's not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to kill yourself anyways, let's at least go about it traditionally. And I tell her that, and she's like, so, let's deal with all the other stuff. I said, but politically, I'm scared because you guys have been told that the whole world is intolerant, but you haven't seen intolerance yet. And if you want to take sides on something that you think is that important, this is all I'm saying. I said, you know how like a gnat can like buzz your ear, and like,
yep.
And you're just, okay, stop. And it gets annoying.
There's a residual, yeah.
It's not going in your ear yet, right?
Right.
I said,
sorry,
all of these woke topics have felt like that. All this wokeism has felt like you're like, oh, okay, like whatever, no big deal. I'm still just living my life. I said, the buzzing is getting louder, and people are becoming more empowered to be louder and louder. And the weak are being given the power to be bullies and to be vicious. I said, but the true quiet conservatives, the 180 million gun owners out there, they haven't spoken up yet. They still haven't. Things are very quiet now. I said, but there's all these groups of people who are basically screaming at people, pay attention to me because you hate me, because you're a racist, and you're this and you're that and you're this, and it's like they're being told to force the argument. I said, all of a sudden that gnat that usually you just like brush away is inside your head.
In your ear. Yeah.
And it's fucking in your ear, and it's burrowing. Humans are dumb enough that we'll take a fucking number 2 pencil and we'll chase the gnat just to kill it inside our own ear canal. We will make ourselves bleed to
do
kill
self-harm. Self-harm
absolutely injure ourselves in order to get that fucking thing to stop. Kind of like my alarm in the background. I'm gonna kill that goddamn clock. But I'm gonna finish and we'll go. I said just be careful. I said, because it doesn't take a lot for Atlas to shrug and to reset.
And right.
I said, it makes me nervous that if you're the tallest poppy, if people are like, hey, listen, we like you all who think you're marginalized, just calm down, please. We don't know what else to give you. We don't know what else, but you don't get the world. You're another human being, and that's literally all that's your rights as a human being.
Yep.
We're all just humans. You don't
life,
get
liberty, and pursuit of happiness, right?
You don't get any more airtime, and you don't get any more anything. Just shut up. If you don't like it, travel outside of this country to any other country who gives zero fucks about that perspective. Yeah, they will harm you.
They will harm you.
Go to 165 other countries that would put you to death for saying the things that you say.
For wanting to vote as a woman, for wanting to have rights as a woman.
Right.
Let alone trans, bi, whatever.
Right. All the things. I said, are we perfect as a nation? No. You're never going to be perfect. Is it pretty fucking amazing? And are you in the top 1% of wealth owners in the world? Yeah, you are. That's why the rest of the world hates you. Just so you know, you middle class are the richest people in the world. So just be careful what you're waving your flag for, because the people around you who are like, hey, can we just be quiet about this? They're going to be back in control soon. And it just makes me nervous that if there is such thing as a right-wing lunatic fringe, I would hate to wake them up if they're out there somewhere, because I don't know where they are, but I would hate for them to come out and just be like, you know what? Let's just start over.
Kills the juice.
You don't want a civil war, because the progressives will lose.
Agree.
but you also don't want our own destruction and then have China come take over, which is what they want to do, because that's
Kill the
not
Americans.
that's never been unknown. You don't want that. You don't want to lose it. So how about this? Can't we all just get along and just fucking stop? Can we all just love each other?
And love
Well,
one
how
another.
hard is that? Can't we just be friends?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, you're left leaning Democrat. I'm a right leaning conservative.
I'm not a
Libertarian
Democrat, bro.
mostly. Oh,
Not
I'm sorry.
I'm not a
Left
Democrat.
leaning.
I'm more middle. I'm center, like right here. I'm in.
You've
the center,
come more
dude.
center. You've definitely come more center because you've been like,
Mhm.
what the fuck is going on? This
Mhm.
is crazy.
Mhm.
But like I feel like I'm a little right of center. You're probably more center. I'm
Yeah, I'm
a
center.
little more conservative center. But that used to feel dramatic like 5 years ago. That used to feel like more like, oh, how could you even tolerate Obama? And you're like, he was a good guy. I'm like, fuck you. Like you can't be centrist and vote for Obama. That's ridiculous. No, you can.
Mhm.
No, you can. But things have become so polarized in such a short period of time, in like the year and a half that we've been doing shows,
Mhm.
that
Well, my
you
eyes are
realize
open.
you realize you have so much more in common with people who have kids, pay taxes, need a roof over their head, and just want to know that they're still going to have all this to do again tomorrow and have it not taken away from you.
Mhm.
Just let us raise our kids, people. But that's it. That's the whole point of the show, is this: love one another and love yourself.
I love it.
That's fucking it, man. Just love. Fuck. Did you hear that alarm?
Yeah. You hear my son?
That was you.
Dad, when are you getting off this?
Okay. All right. Oh, it's time to go to work. All right. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. All right. Have a good night. Sorry for going
Hey,
so
brother.
long. It's
No.
Matthew's fault. It's Matthew's fault for bringing those topics up. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I haven't been doing shelf help during the week, so
Yeah, what happened with that? I haven't seen you and Missy and everybody, and just
yeah,
John,
no,
everybody.
they've all been busy, things coming up, whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, guys, I need a platform. It can't all happen on Sunday. All right.
Well, I'm down with
I
the
love you,
Pink
brother.
Floyd show. I love you too, man.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that soon. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later.
See you later. Good night.
Have a good night. Last thing is a little sneak peek. I think I had this DivX up. So I'm releasing a series of reels and YouTube shorts and whatnot. So I'm going to share it with you guys, and then you get a sneak peek. This is going to be done up in chunks. This is about how to be a more effective remote worker. And
for effective top 7 tips for effective remote working. Tip number 1, invest in a timer. You might be saying, I already have a timer, but you don't, so hear me out. Physical timers make a huge difference. Your phone has a fantastic timer, but is also a significant distraction. When you go to set a timer, you'll probably check your text, see what everyone's talking about on Instagram stories, and do a little online shopping. If you have a physical timer, you can set up for a specific time without all the distractions. Timers can be relatively inexpensive too, which makes them the perfect addition to your work desk. Set a timer, work diligently, rinse and repeat. Top 7 tips for effective remote workers. Number 2, write out realistic to-do list. Have you ever sat down to write a to-do list and kept just going on and on like you're writing a love letter of pain and regret? That's not appropriate for a to-do list, especially when you're working from home. Distractions are even more prevalent when you're a remote worker. So you have to be careful about creating an unrealistic schedule for yourself. Put 3 to 5 items on your to-do list every day, just 3 to 5. Don't overdo it. Prioritize. It seems simple, right? Prioritize these items based on your needs. Denote stretch goals so you don't feel overwhelmed by your to-do list. Alright, so you can have your priority 1 - priority 2 lay tasks and your priority 3 tasks. Don't overdo it, but make those lists. Top 7 tips for effective remote workers. Number 3. Get dressed for work every morning. If you've been chilling in sweats for months, you might want to get dressed for work. How does this make it on a list of management tips for remote workers? Simple. Getting dressed makes you feel good. And when you feel good about yourself, you do incredible work. You don't have to be formal, but putting a bit of extra effort into what you wear will reflect what you do that day. Plus, rolling out of bed and into work doesn't give your brain the time to adjust what's happening around you. Top 7 tips for effective remote workers. Number 4. Use Parkinson's Law during meetings and work activities. What the hell is Parkinson's Law? It's a commonplace of observation that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Whether you're hosting a meeting or performing your regular work duties, you have to be careful about giving yourself too much time to complete the task. If you do, the activity will expand to take up the entire time you give yourself. For example, if you give yourself 5 hours to make sales calls, the action will stretch out for that whole day. Be clear about what you need to get done and the time it takes to accomplish those goals. Top 7 tips for effective remote work. Number 5. Give everything your undivided attention. Lack of focus creates issues. When you're in a meeting and your attention is focused on the code that you need to review, or the blog you need to write, or the video you need to make, or the shopping you need to do, you can't focus on the meeting. We can't set our minds from wandering. The real goal behind meditation is not to stop your mind from focusing on other tasks. Instead, the purpose of meditation is to teach you how to reel your mind back. After it starts to drift, you have to consider that when your mind wanders at work, you got to figure out how you're going to get it back. Focus on being in the moment with the task in the moment, with the meeting in front of you right now. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Not the past, not the future. Now be present. Block out everything else and give things your undivided attention. Top 7 tips for effective remote workers. Number 6. Block out optimal time on your calendar for work. One of the most important time management tips for remote workers is blocking out optimal time. In your calendar, when's the last time you blocked out the most productive times for you? Many of us take what we can get and as it comes, when it comes to our calendar. We let other people fill it up, but we don't block out optimal times for ourselves. We let everyone else take the time that makes sense for us, for themselves. And then we take the leftover scrap on our calendar and hope we can focus. Don't do that. Instead, block out the best times in your calendar for focus work. If you're a morning person, try to take more meetings in the afternoon. If you're an afternoon person, tell others to schedule meetings with you in the morning. Don't hesitate to let others know about your work preferences. If you don't, you'll always be working around other people, and your calendar will be full of times that don't work for you. We don't want to feel resentment about our calendar. We want to control it. If you fail to use the tool, then the tool uses you. And now you're a tool. Top 7 tips for effective remote workers. Number 7. Stop task switching. Task switching, aka multitasking, is the enemy of productivity. If you're like most people, you probably have a variety of tasks that you're responsible for each day. The disjointed nature of your job may make it challenging for you to focus on any one task solely. You may feel the need to hop from responsibility to responsibility to responsibility. Do you know what comes from this? An ineffective work schedule. There's a better way to do your job called task batching. Task batching requires that you group like tasks together, so you don't have a million plates spinning at once. Put blocks of time on your calendar to handle the various aspects of your work life. For example, let's say you're a marketer. Your schedule might look like this: social content for the week. Every Monday morning, write emails. Every Tuesday afternoon, send marketing updates to the company. Every Wednesday morning, work on your quarterly project. Every Thursday afternoon, document workflows. Write blog content every Friday. You'll likely have open slots that don't have a task. You'll likely have open slots that don't have a task category. Those spots are probably taken up by meetings, random projects assigned to you throughout the week, and task overflow. Having your basic weekly tasks entered into your calendar will help you tremendously. If you're not working with a set of specific key performance indicators and goals, then you need to manage your time in a way that makes you the most effective, where you can prove your effort and your results. These are your top 7 tips for effective remote workers. For more information and resources, visit www.theshelfhelpshow.com/tips. If you enjoyed the content, share with someone else.